Happy Monday night, man. Fun updates. Hey, what's happening now? Hey, what's going on, bud?
Hey, how's it going?
Some interesting developments.
Uh-oh. I saw the Colorado Rockies Kris Bryant thing. Did we talk about that last time?
We
Maybe you
did.
and I did. Oh,
So now
something.
there's obviously reports. Now, is it coming from reporters or is it coming from actual front office personnel? Which
Mm-hmm.
I don't buy it. I think it's reporters in the actual who work for the Colorado Rockies or who follow the Rockies that are making these statements. I don't think it's actual personnel from the organization itself, but they're trying to come out nowadays because I think it's like this big hubbub that Kris Bryant wasn't at the Sheraton Hotel, that he wasn't participating in the Cubs 10-year World Series celebration.
Mm-hmm.
You had Kyle Schwarber, active member of the Philadelphia Phillies, participating. You had Javi Baez, an active participant of Detroit Tigers, participating in that celebration. I think Albert Almora Jr., I'm not sure if he's on anybody's active
I was
roster.
wondering. He
I
was a
thought he was somewhere, but he was there. John Lester's retired, David Ross is retired. I think John Lackey was there, which is all these. Anthony Rizzo was back, so
They got a
you
lot of
would
people
think
back.
that you would think Kris Bryant would be one of those main faces, back at for that 10-year celebration.
He's probably the only one missing, really, right? That you could think of. That wasn't
I don't
there.
know. I don't know if Dexter Fowler was there. I don't know if I haven't heard anything about Addison Russell being there either.
That's a good point. I don't know if Fowler was there. They listed him off, but I don't remember from the list. But I mean, Kris Bryant, like you said, he was the MVP that year, wasn't he?
Yeah.
And maybe a year or two before and after. Clearly a critical person. He threw the ball to Rizzo to win it all. I mean, he had pretty good series from what I remember.
Yeah, I think because with his DV issues, I think maybe Addison Russell may not have been invited,
Yeah,
but
but still, I still don't get why the Rockies are they trying to get people to hate them or something? Like, I don't get
but
what they get out of it.
I read that Bryant only played like 11 games last season
Yeah, not injuries.
so I mean,
You think they're
what
penalizing him for it?
I think it's twofold. I mean, you paid someone, what was it, 100? I think it was 7 years, $187 million, if I'm not mistaken.
It was quite a
So,
lot of money. Yeah,
hey, Janet,
it was quite
welcome
a
to
lot
the
of
show.
money. And he was
So,
hurt even worse than I think the Cubs and Giants combined, right? With the Rockies, he's
yeah,
not
yeah.
played a lot.
So, I mean, you pay some almost $200 million, and they played probably, what was it, 3 years now that he's been part of the team, 4 years, and he's probably played less than a whole season for them. And when he's been on the field, I mean, his numbers haven't exactly been,
Yeah.
he hasn't been tearing the cover off the ball. So, as a Cubs fan and someone who has been a Kris Bryant fan, you want him to exceed. You want him to do
Yeah.
well. You just don't want him to do well when he's facing the Cubs. That's it.
Right.
But you want him to do well otherwise.
MVP season outside of those 2 or 3 series or wherever they play. Yeah,
Exactly.
but he's not even playing those. So I guess I mean like combined, he's played maybe 100 games more than you and I have for the Rockies or something like that, right? So not a lot.
So
Unfortunately, I don't know why he can't stay healthy if it's new injuries. I haven't followed him as much with the Rockies, other than I knew he's hurt a lot. I don't know if
yeah,
that's
so I think it's twofold. On one side, you could see the Colorado Rockies from their argument. You are on our active roster.
Yep.
I can understand why they wouldn't want their active players celebrating for another organization. And B,
Mm,
we signed you to this massive contract, and you have literally done squat for us
yeah.
in all the years that we paid you this massive money, and now you're gonna sit back and celebrate for another organization and their fan base. I mean, it's a really a kick in the face of the Rockies organization. So I can understand them being really freaking petty with their behavior and not allowing him to attend Cubs festivities,
But you
but.
recognize it as petty in the same thought. Yeah,
Absolutely.
it is petty.
Um, it's
Yeah.
definitely petty. But I also think it's on Kris Bryant too,
Yeah.
because who's to say that this wasn't completely his choice? Who's
Could he be using it as
who's
cover to not show up? You think, or something like that? Like, oh, the Rockies won't let me, so
I
sorry, Cubs.
Who's to say that me personally? I think that he might be completely humiliated. This man won most valuable player award, 4 straight years. Collegiate player of the year.
Right. Okay.
Followed by minor league player of the year. Then he was rookie of the year. Then he was most valuable player of the year. 4 consecutive years. I don't think you will ever see any other baseball player in history ever have that type of run ever again in 4 consecutive seasons.
And now he's just a shadow of himself due to injuries and other things, right? And they probably
you will see someone too. You'll see someone win rookie of the year, and then later on in their career, you'll see them win, NL MVP, AL MVP. You might even see them do it back-to-back years. But to see them go from collegiate player of the year to minor league player, you will not see that back-to-back years. And to have all 4 of them, no, probably never. You'll never see that.
Because a lot of your studs, I think, still skip college, so that rules out college, right? Some of them go right. If you're really great, and you're more likely to win those MVP type awards or Cy Youngs, whatever. Yeah. You might skip college, so then that rules that out. And then just because you're stud doesn't mean you're going to be the best NL or minor league player, so you might miss that. And it's only one person can win the MVP, even a rookie of the year. There have been many times when you see the set runner up to the rookie of the year is tremendous, but somebody just had a slightly better year. But to do that, and they did that all 4 years in a row, didn't they? You're saying do that, even if it wasn't contiguous, but also do it in consecutive years. That'd be pretty tough. And now he can't play a whole season with his injuries and stuff, and even the seasons he's playing aren't very good. So maybe he's a little embarrassed or.
I also think it's bad. I don't want to say pettiness, but I also think it's anger. That because he blames the Cubs for manipulating his service time, and it kept him from earning more money. I'm like, dude, you went from making like $1 million to making like $20 million from 1 year to the next.
The Cubs did do that. They did play with it a bit, but those were the rules. They knew it going into it.
I think he broke arbitration 1 year. So so he I think Ryan Howard had like the record at one point, and I think he broke that at one. So I mean, it's not like you didn't get paid.
But the Cubs did manipulate it, and then at the end of his Cubs career, they traded him to the Giants, and maybe he felt bad there, like maybe they should have re-signed him, right? So I could see him. Maybe he's angry. I could see it. He's got a few reasons.
And I heard the Cubs actually offered him something like 8 years, $200 million at one point, and he turned it down because he thought he was going to go into free agency, and Boris had it in his mind he was going to get $400 million.
Not the first time.
And what happens? The only franchise willing to be stupid enough to even give him any, and he's been on a downward spiral for years. And the only organization stupid enough to even come close is a team that gave him less than $200 million at 187.
And it's the Rockies. So what's his chance of winning another title?
Right. And
unfortunately, the Rockies are going south.
And look at what he's done with that. Now imagine if he did that for the Cubs.
So did they offer him the big contract before his last few injuries? They didn't last year.
I want to say they probably offered him that contract somewhere around 2017, 2018.
Okay, yeah. So he had a shot. He turned it down, and he probably is angry that he bet on himself and lost. What really, right?
Yeah.
Because he got worse and got hurt, and then the Cubs ended up trading him. They didn't even keep him, let alone giving him 8 years, $200 million. And then the only team that'll sign him are the Rockies, who are getting even worse at managing their team somehow. And they didn't give him the 8 year, 2 year. But he should still be happy because I think it's probably a guaranteed contract. Even if he doesn't play another inning with the Rockies, he's still going to be fairly well off. Yeah. Unless he tries to chase down the latest big rubber guys figures, then maybe. But if he avoids that, he might be able to make ends meet.
But I could imagine that it is shame and embarrassment on his part.
I could see that.
He was supposed to be like the big it guy from that roster, Rizzo and Schwarber and Baez, and look at Schwarber. He is probably the most successful guy. And what happened? He was the guy that was the Cubs released and didn't get anything for. And he's had the most success, and he's probably going to be the one that ends up getting the biggest payday of all of them.
I think didn't even the Tigers. What's Baez's contract? It's a pretty good chunk of change too, didn't they?
He got like 6 years, 140, I think, 142, something like that.
Might not have been the 8-200, but I think also the Tigers are a better team. Like this year, weren't they in the playoffs even or close to it?
They were actually were they in the playoffs? I think they were.
I think they did. they struggled at times after, but either way, they were definitely better than the Rockies. So he's like, okay,
Yeah.
Baez got my contract. I think I'm a better player than Baez, or I was back then. Well, in fact, Baez didn't even start. He wasn't a starter in 2015 and 2016, I don't think, right? So he's probably looking at that. Plus, Baez is on a better team. Rizzo got to go to the Yankees. He's kind of like, oh, I have to suffer over him in Colorado. I could see some of that. Yeah. So do you think it's cover? Maybe he didn't want to go.
Yeah, and I don't know what the issue is with, because Denver is a beautiful city. It's a metropolis, and Coors Field is one of the most beautiful ballparks.
And still hitter friendly. If he could get healthy, he could put up some.
I see no issues like why you would have any problems playing for the Rockies. Love their uniforms. So like, I mean, Colorado is a fantastic hitter's park. Like that, he should excel in Coors Field.
If he could get healthy. If he could get and stay healthy.
Yeah, that's exactly where he needs to be as far as being a hitter. But
well, then hey, get better, and then maybe the Rockies could trade you to contender like the Cubs did. Maybe next year, the year after, down the stretch, maybe the Cubs or somebody says, "Oh wow, Bryant's healthy again, and we need an extra bat in our lineup to chase the Phillies or the Dodgers or whoever the heck." And maybe then the Rockies would trade you, and then you could be on the contender again if that's what you want. I'm assuming he wants another shot in the playoffs and another title. I mean, at this point, with that money, that guaranteed, it's not like he needs Ohtani money or whatever, or even Bregman money. You know, I think he's okay. He just, I mean, but a title, you can't. I know the Dodgers can buy a title, but players can't buy titles. So,
but I don't think it's all on the Rockies' shoulders. Personally, I do think it also has to do with, maybe he has family commitment. Maybe his daughter, I don't know if he has kids. I'm assuming he does, but maybe he has a daughter and she's in recital or something, and he just couldn't get away. For maybe that's what it is. It could be a very simple answer like that.
And he is just a person. He maybe doesn't want to. He's like, during the baseball season, he has to travel a ton, and maybe this is his off season. I don't want to travel. I want to be home on the weekend.
It could be a very simple answer like that.
I'd be like that. I'm a regular person. I don't want to travel.
It's a good talking point because we're fans and we love the sport. And as fans of the players, we, it's the off season. This is like, hey, we don't have baseball to watch, so this is what we have to talk about.
And there's dwindling, even if you like sports, football's dwindling. There's only a few games left in the pros. Tonight's the last college football game. I think there's only 3 more pro games, 2 next week and then the Super Bowl. I don't follow basketball much. The Blackhawks aren't doing very, very well yet, so I don't know if I care about hockey. Probably pitchers and catchers report here in February, right? It's coming around next month.
Around Valentine's Day, yeah.
Good topic. Maybe the Rockies are working with him and giving him cover. I wonder. That'd be kind of neat if they're like, no, we wouldn't let him go because reasons, and because he didn't want to go. Maybe, I don't know. That'd be nice of them. That puts the Rockies in a different light. I don't know if that's the case, but
it's crazy. You see, like Travis Wood, he's still wearing like that same old like hunter's vest, bare chested, nothing else. I'm like, dude, you remember back when the
Cubs wore that at the convention? He wore it this weekend. I didn't see any pictures yet. Okay.
Back when he went to the when they won the World Series, it's like November. It's freezing cold outside, and he's outside walking around with the bare, with his shirt off. Like, dude.
Didn't he at the celebration? Is that what you're talking about? Because that would have been late, like November, right? Didn't he dress that way for the celebration? The
at the hotel, yeah. He, that's.
Well, no, I meant like when they won in 2016, right? Because that'd have been late in the year.
Yeah, he was on during the parade, like he was walking around, shirtless and everything. And I'm like, dude, I love cold weather, but like even now I'm not even that insane to be walking downtown Chicago shirtless.
Even the hockey players typically wear their sweaters, and it'd be in the summer when it'd be warmer, right? I would think they'd be sweating, and even they wear stuff. But a few times I saw the Blackhawks get to celebrate.
I just thought that was a really nice, funny throwback to the 2016 parade.
If he was a wrestler,
showed up like that.
If it was a wrestler, you'd say, he's keeping his gimmick, right? That's his gimmick. I like to think of it in wrestling terms, or keeping kayfabe, or it's kind of funny to think of applying wrestling terms to non-wrestling things. Is Travis Wood the face? He's
you see any of the interviews or anything from that Cubs convention?
I haven't yet. No, were they any good?
I only saw like a couple, and I saw one that a little short clip from Anthony Rizzo, which I thought was really funny. I guess some lady asked him like, "So are we gonna win another World Series next year?" Talking about 2017, and he's like, "We just won a World Series before you died." I'm like, yeah, I mean, you pretty much just hit it on the head. I think pretty much all of us thought we were going to go our entire lives without seeing that day. But
Yeah,
I mean, that's to have one in the books is pretty much enough, I think. So
it would be nice to have another one. Well, I think because my problem was they were such a young team that I thought, oh yeah, they're going to be competitive for a while, and they were really 1 or 2 years after that they made the playoffs, and that was it. I don't think they were competitive long enough. Their window closed real quick. You know what I mean? That was probably the worst part of it. There's no guarantee they were winning another title, but at least make the playoffs and do some damage. I think the next year they did, but like we said, we talked about this before. The Nationals really didn't want to win it more than the Cubs won that series. But
yeah,
when they won that against the Nationals, I'm like, man, the Cubs are actually a legitimate team now because that's the kind of series that
and then the
a good
Dodgers
franchise
butchered
win.
them in NLCS.
I mean, yeah, but I mean, the Dodgers are a good team. But when the Cubs beat the Nationals, I'm like, wow, they beat a better team than them in the playoffs. Usually, the Cubs are the better team and still lose, right? I mean, how many times do you see the Cubs not right? And so for them to do that, I thought that was turning around the Cubs, momentum or our thoughts about them. But they didn't really go much from there. Right? The next year, I think, did they make the playoffs and then get bounced in the first round, or what was the one year they lost a playing game and then they lost a 1-game wild card or whatever? It's like
I know they
then pretty
lost
soon
to
they're trading it.
Florida in 2020, and they lost to Milwaukee in 2018.
And a lot of those games were games and
Or
series
or
where
was
they
it
didn't.
Colorado in 2018? I think they lost to Colorado in 2018.
Wasn't it like Brewers and then Colorado, and then the Brewers won the division because of it, so then they had to play Colorado, or maybe that was the Marlins. But those series weren't very good, or were single games. They didn't hit or score more runs than you or I did. It was that bad. Back to the Future. Yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
did they?
that's
Was it? What year did the Back to the Future put? I don't remember.
2015. And they
Was it
said they
15?
defeated the Marlins, so
That is interesting though, because they had a really good team.
well, they said Florida. They didn't say Marlins. They said Florida.
Oh, Florida. But I mean, yeah. But so I thought, hey, good young team. They'll be competitive for years. Like, nope, they weren't.
Miami.
They bared it up. Like the Bears in '85. The Bears dominated, right? Oh, man, this is going to be a dynasty. Nope. No, Bears didn't. They lost, who's that defensive coordinator? I forgot his name. Went to the Eagles. Never made it again, but I forget his name. But, yeah, I don't remember. I was too young to remember why the Bears didn't. I think they were in the playoffs and they were somewhat competitive, but they never challenged like they did in '85 again.
But what's funny is
Probably a bad draft pick.
if the Cubs actually had someone like if they actually brought back like John Lackey for 2017, and we're not I mean, John Lackey isn't like the 2002 John Lackey of the Angels, man.
No.
But John Lackey, I think, was the difference maker of 2016. To have that fire, that spirit in the clubhouse, that's the passion the Cubs needed for 2016. That's the one that put them over the hump to help them win that series. If they had that back in 2017, I think he would have been the one that would have gotten them back in the World Series. Probably would have helped them win.
What did he do in 2017? Did he retire? Did he go somewhere else? I don't even remember.
I thought he retired. I don't remember him playing in 2017.
Yeah, I don't remember. That's maybe why I can't think of the team. Seahawks will lose to the Pats in the Super Bowl, huh? Yeah, I'm definitely rooting for the AFC. I hate the Seahawks and the Rams.
I take it Bears are no longer playing. I don't follow. I don't know.
Bears did another miraculous last-second touchdown to tie against the Rams, but then they kind of blew it in overtime and lost by 3.
Damn.
Which sucks because I hate the Rams. And I hate the Seahawks. So I'm rooting for the Pats or the Broncos because the Pats need another Super Bowl. It's been like 2 minutes since they won. Poor New England.
There's this blue and black reversible jacket my grandmother sent us. It was a Rams jacket. Like years and years ago, and I still have that jacket to this day.
Rams?
But my grandma's from St. Louis, so
and that was St. Louis.
My dad's mom, and so we always got all the St. Louis stuff when we were kids, and
you'd burn the Cardinal stuff to keep warm, though, would you? No, I'm kidding.
I don't think we actually got Cardinal stuff, but we got a ton of Rams items.
That's interesting. And that's another reason I hate the Rams is that they left L.A., they took their ball and went to St. Louis. And I think they had a couple good teams. They won it all 1 year. And then they took their ball and went back to L.A. and then won again. And they're like the Raiders.
Hold on. They were Los Angeles, then St. Louis, then back to Los Angeles?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Oh, I thought they were St. Louis and then went to Los Angeles. Okay.
No, yeah, they were in LA before then. Yeah, I think that was where they started, was LA, if I remember correctly. Because them, like in the Niners, have been rivalries for years, being California teams. They're kind of like the Raiders, who are now, I think, in Oakland, or I mean, Las Vegas, where the Athletics might be going. That'd probably be a good game though, Seahawks Rams. I don't know if the Pats Broncos will be good now without that quarterback. I don't remember how Stidham did. The Broncos number one quarterback, a younger guy, rookie or second year. I think he broke an ankle or something in the game they won.
Yeah.
Well, I expect the Patriots should be able to beat them, but I mean, you still have to play. I don't know about the Rams Seahawks game. That's a rivalry team, so we don't. I don't know. I think the Seahawks upset them the last time they played, and I think the Rams might have beaten them a previous time. I'm trying to remember how the regular season went. That Seahawks defense looks incredibly tough. Broncos pull a rabbit out of the ball. It could be. But Denver just won a couple titles a couple years ago. But I guess, no offense to Bum, but the problem is with rooting for Denver, I think the Patriots have a better shot at knocking off the NFC team. So that's probably why I root for the Patriots. A little game theory in action. But if my choice would probably Broncos number one because they have the fewest titles. And then the Patriots. And then I don't want to watch the Super Bowl if the Rams or Seahawks win. I hate them both. It's really more about who you're rooting against than who you're rooting for, right? Like last year, I didn't really care about the Blue Jays, but I didn't want the Dodgers to win. I'm like, oh, well, I was fine with the Blue Jays winning. It wasn't, no big deal. But I was definitely rooting against the Dodgers more than rooting for the Blue Jays. But it is what it is. One of the few years the Cubs weren't in the World Series.
Dodgers just won, and the Blue Jays haven't won in over 30 years.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
So at the end of the day, that's what I mean, do I hate the Dodgers? Actually, I kind of do, man. I'm still fed up because those son of a guns after 2008. I'm still flustered about that darn series loss.
Yeah, see, I already didn't like them. I like them even less now with the shenanigans with the play roll and stuff like that. You didn't need to give me a reason to not like them. Other than up until recently, they weren't as successful in winning it all. Right, other than what was the last time before then? Oral Hershiser, like beating the Athletics years ago. The Dodgers had a great team and will go to the playoffs all those years, but they wouldn't win. They're almost like the Braves. But now that they're actually buying titles and winning, you're kind of like, okay, I really hate them. I really hate you now.
My last tour to Iraq, one of the clerks that was working for a Bravo company, he and one of the girls in our company, they swapped rows. So he came to the warehouse to work with us, and she went to the motor pool. So he's from California. I guess he's from Los Angeles. Okay. So he was a Dodgers fan, and of course, once the darn Dodgers swept the Cubs in the postseason, all I had to hear was this son of a freaking gun brag about how freaking good and how much better the damn Dodgers and rubbing my damn face, about the damn Dodgers and beating the Cubs, yada yada yada. And his name was freaking Orozco, and oh my god, I wanted to punch him in the goddamn face all the time. I mean, not a good guy. I'm not hating on him personally or anything, but I just freaking hate him for that purpose, and I hate the Dodgers because of it. That.
Yeah. Kind of like hating the Mets, too, even though the Mets don't win. I hated them after when they made the Cubs look bad. What was that? What year was that?
2015.
It was the year before they won. Yeah. So then I was definitely they were playing the Royals in the World Series, so in the Royals, they're a small market team, so I was kind of rooting for them anyway. So it was helpful that the Royals did end up beating the Mets. I didn't want to see the Mets win after. Who was it? David Murphy, wasn't he a Cubs killer for the Mets that year?
Yeah, was it David or Daniel?
Oh, right. Daniel. Might be Daniel. Got the Murphy part.
But you know what? What killed me though?
Jerk.
7-0. 2015. The Cubs were 7-0
against the Mets.
The freaking Mets during the regular season. We had just defeated, who was it? 2015, we defeated the Pirates, I believe. Was it the Pirates and the Cardinals?
Mm-hmm.
And so we just knocked out both the number 2 and then the number 1 best teams in all of Major League Baseball. We were the number 3 best team in baseball, all of Major League Baseball. And we're going up against a team in the championship series who we just went 7-0 against.
Yep.
And there is no way in hell we weren't going to the World Series. Like, you could print money on it. That's how much of a guarantee that was. 4-0 series sweep.
Yeah, they didn't even win one game.
I'm like, you know, this is just freaking. This is Cubs at its finest.
Yep.
There is no point even being a damn Cubs fan because this is what you have to look forward to. You have one of the best freaking teams ever, and you're going up against a team you absolutely dominated, and you still are choking. Unbelievable. So I'm like, you just gotta throw your hands up and just. What is the point of following this organization, following this team? You know, can I move somewhere else to be another fan?
Yeah, it's
I
hard to
mean,
do that though.
2015, I was in Texas, but I mean, you get the idea what I mean. But
Yeah. Well, and the thing is, maybe it would be different if they won a few games or brought it to game 6 or 7, but they got swept, and most of the games weren't even that close. It's like they didn't even show up, and I'm like, really? Couldn't you at least win one game?
well, when Daniel
Accidentally
Murphy's
lose that
hitting
game?
like 7 home runs in 4 games against you, I mean,
Yeah,
you're pretty much limited.
but I also think they didn't play well offensively either.
No,
So
I
it was
mean,
like a
well,
double.
that's Cubs. That's always the Cubs for you.
That's Cub, as I like to say. You
Shoot.
got to see it, or whatever the new slogan is. Yeah. Is the
I
Cubs
mean,
going to be fired? I don't know.
I mean, they should. I mean, the bullpen. I think it should still be equal to what they had last year. They got some solid arms based on what their last season was. ERA wise, what their bullpen should be solid. Edward Cabrera. I mean, a pitcher that has an earned run average in the fours doesn't really pique my interest that much. But he's supposed to be one of the best left-handers on the Florida staff, so I don't know. We should see. Right now with him, I mean that gives you 6 starting pitchers. Shota Imanaga was basically a Cy Young pitcher in his first season. Second year, didn't even win 10 games, I don't think.
Yeah,
And
he took a step back.
And I mean, he was still a great pitcher, but I mean, I wouldn't put him in elite status, not last season. And the Cubs didn't even trust him enough to give him the ball in the last game against the Brewers.
It's true.
So,
and then I think they didn't offer him a contract, but then how did he get signed back? Didn't he win arbitration or something?
Qualifying offer.
But I thought it felt like the Cubs were forced to give him money or something. It was really weird. I forgot how it went.
The
Cubs weren't necessarily sold on keeping him, and then they ended up having to keep him or something. It was very strange.
There was like this huge, like his contract was like one of the most complicated contracts. It's like a 20-part contract. The Cubs have to.
LA Dodger math going on there, huh? LA Dodger type contract. Red Sox Cubs.
It's possible. I would love to see a Red Sox Cubs, but I think the Red Sox would pull it out, and I wouldn't be happy. The Red Sox have 4 World Series this century alone. I mean, no. I wouldn't trust the Red Sox and the Cubs in the World Series. I think the Red Sox would make it number 5, and damn it, they've already won enough. The Red Sox are basically this century's Yankees. So
I'm just hoping at least the Bruins suck. We don't want Bum to celebrate too many titles this year. He'd be like, oh, what am I going to – Bum's going to run out of money buying all the World Series championship gear for his Patriots and Red Sox and stuff. He won't be able to buy all those retro figures. He'll be buying Patriots hats and stuff. Poor guy.
But do the Cubs go to a 6-man starting rotation this season?
Those don't tend to end up real well, do they? When's the last time a 6-man's been run by anyone?
Shoot.
I wonder. Or can they do a couple games where you have 2 starters? The first pitch is 4 or 5 innings, and the next pitch is the last 4 or 5 innings or something like that.
I mean, like I said, the Cubs realistically have about 7 or 8 logistical, like legitimate starting pitchers because I really want to see Colin Ray back in the starting rotation. I think he was amazing last season. I don't want to see him long relief. I think that's a waste of his talents. I think he was phenomenal last season as a starter. I would like him to start more often, but
that's weird that it goes in. My mind is like red, and then the stars are yellow on my iPad, but red in my browser. That's kind of weird. Same emoji, I thought. Bum's rooting for the Cubs in that league, at least. I mean, I definitely would root for the Red Sox over the Yankees. That's no doubter. But
yeah.
Unfortunately, I feel bad probably saying I'd root for the Blue Jays since I hate America, root for the Toronto team instead of Boston. I don't know. Who else is in that division? The Rays? Yeah. Orioles?
Yeah,
Everybody forget about the Orioles.
And that's the funniest thing is that once the Rays drop the devil from their name, all of a sudden they are a perennial playoff bound team.
The devil held him back. The devil held him back instead of made him do it.
Apparently,
I always thought that was silly when they changed it. I thought Devil Rays sounded cooler. I'm like, oh, come on, you wusses calling yourselves the Rays.
I love Double Rays.
I thought
It's
so.
a Double Ray. That's your mascot. Now
It's
it's
the name
just
of the animal. It's an animal, right? It's not. We're not saying the Mark of the Beast Rays or something like that, right?
yeah, and now it's just Rays and then Sunshine. I'm like, that's stupid.
I never really thought about it, but because I just thought they dropped the devil and they were still talking about the animal. But you're right, it probably is for Sunshine, isn't it? I never really thought about that before. How little I paid attention to it.
Now it's just
puzzle deniability. Oh, it's sun.
So like you went from having an actual killer mascot and this killer fish mascot to having a Sunshine as your mascot. Like really, that's
maybe
like when they started putting out those uniforms back in 2008. Oh my God! Like the crowd went crazy, like with laughter. Those were like some of the ugliest uniforms ever.
But if you think about it numerically, probably the sun kills more people than Devil Rays. If, like, skin cancers and stuff like that, maybe, or bad suntan. I don't know. It probably does. Or maybe if it gets too hot or too cold, do you count like heat exhaustion deaths and cold deaths as sun related? I don't know. I heard there's some kind of talk about the sun. Is it an aurora chance here in the Midwest somewhere today? Maybe I have to look that up again. We had one of those back in November, I think it was, where you could even see like the northern lights, pretty far south. Considering that usually it's Alaska type thing.
As good a team as they had, I can only name 2 people, maybe 3.
They always do that though. They're these young guys from nowhere. They play them until they can't afford them anymore, and then they go to some other team.
Like Evan Longoria, David Price, maybe Carlos Pena possibly was on that team. Like I don't think I can name a single player who was probably on that 2008 team.
No, I mean I can't. That's their MO though. Year to year, bunch of guys, they get the most out of them, and then when they become all-star MVP types, they can't afford them anymore. So they go to some other team. They're like a minor league team in the majors. You know what I mean? And Florida's a big state, lots of people. I don't know. They just don't draw the numbers in Tampa. I don't know why they can't afford to spend more money. But it seems like not a lot of people come to their games.
I mean, Tampa's got to be like a senior citizen, mostly city, right? So if it's got like a mostly retirement
that don't want to go to the games anymore,
maybe but you would think retirement community, maybe it's got a lot of money in that area
free
too.
Time. And you got free time to go to a game.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't know why they don't seem to draw. Poor Rays. Go back to Devil. Little Devil. Or that is interesting. I didn't think about that. They got better drop. Probably
losing all of our viewers.
Are we? What happened? What'd you do?
I don't think people like the baseball talk.
Oh, well, we can move on to something else. You got something else we talked about? About half an hour. Well, that's not bad.
I enjoy baseball talk, man. Like to me, the live streams are at the most fun. And when
is it too soon for baseball for some people? They're still celebrating football or hockey or something. Maybe it's too soon for baseball. I don't know.
I mean, there's still plenty of time to talk about mayonnaise, but we gotta wait for Ross to get into the conference. Oh yeah, I was supposed to bring out a big ass jar of mayonnaise. It'd be like
I forgot
when but I gotta wait for I gotta wait for Ross to jump in before I do that.
Feed me more mango. That's what they're saying. Yeah, because I even rushed through dinner to make that live stream, and I didn't think about it. I could have just while I was out in the kitchen.
Man, I got like I should have brought me a darn well, here's it. Oh, this will work. I always got damn stuffy noses. My stuffy nose.
This is the season. Yeah, I had to blow my nose earlier, just before the live stream started.
Excuse me.
But yeah, it's cold, like single digits, I think, right now here. We had some wind. Cold down by you. It is
today's like 20-something degrees.
How much?
I think like 20-something, like maybe 24 or something.
Balmy. That's shorts weather.
Shit.
Well, the worst was and windy up here. I think it's supposed to warm up and then another Arctic blast this weekend or something if I saw. Talking about like below zero again.
Yeah.
Hooray.
I've got some updates. Been talking to some folks on Facebook, and One dude I was talking to the other day, sent him a bunch of pictures for MRW and everything, let him know about, some of the ideas that we've been working with for creating this line and everything. Hopefully he's interested in the idea and everything, and might be interested in possibly buying some figures. Like, I don't think it's going to be something where, like, if I buy 250 figures, he's going to want to buy like 100 of them.
Oh, that'd be amazing.
If you're the wrestler and I'm making a figure of you, like, I think it's, if I buy 250, you might want to buy like 10 or something.
So this was a wrestler, and then he wants to buy him. He or she wants to buy him so that they can sign him and sell them like it is independent events and stuff wherever they're booked.
Yeah, so
it's a good idea.
But the thing is, just like with anybody, you got to see if there's actual interest, with the group, because it would be better, obviously, if I buy, I'll say 200 just to make it even, make it easier for conversation talk. If I buy 200 figures from the factory and I were to sell like 100 to the wrestler, let's say I sell it to him for $50 and he takes it to his show and he signs it for the fans, and let's say he sells it for 150 or something. He's turning $100 on each of those figures, $100 profit. So if he buys 100 at $100 profit, I mean, that's freaking killer money. That's like what, $10,000, I think. Wow. If I calculate that correctly.
$100 off of 100, that'd be 4 zeros. Yeah, I think that's right. That might be more than what they come for, but I think just having a signed figure of yourself, one that kind of puts you out there, because what are the kind of swag the independent wrestlers have? Photos, maybe a shirt. It's pretty hard for them to have much else than that because they're independent, small wrestlers that aren't big yet. But then also that might make them bigger in the eyes of the audience, their fans and stuff that went to this match, and they're like, "Wow, that has a figure? He must be a bigger wrestler than I thought. Only your Hulk Hogan types have figures. Why is this person have a figure?" So it could be a double synergy there. You get to sell more figures. They get a little more. Would you say more credit? It puts them over in the wrestling crowds a little bit, I think.
But
if they're a bigger wrestler than you might expect from the show. You're like, wow, he's got figures.
But my concern is, like, if I work with someone like, hey, I'm interested in getting a figure from you, I'm like, that's awesome. Here I have in front of me a legitimate, actual professional wrestler. Get a figure made of them. And let's say I buy 200 figures, and okay, hey, I'll buy 100 figures from you, or I'll buy I'll buy 10 figures from you. Okay, again, let's say I sell it to him for half off, $50 each, when I'm trying to sell it to everybody else for 100, right?
Yep.
What's 10 figures right off the bat going to do for me?
Yeah.
And what if it's not something that other people are going to be interested in, and I'm stuck with those additional 190 out of the 200?
What if you could sell all of them? Maybe say, okay, here's the agreement. You sign all of them. You buy some of them to sell for your own profit, and I can sell the others for profit. I don't know. I don't know if a smaller market, smaller independent wrestler would push the needle as much on signed figures, but maybe it would help. I don't know. Thinking of an idea. So maybe you can sell signed figures too from your website or whatever.
But
if people are into that, which a lot of people.
If they agree, but if I can work with someone and they say, hey, you don't have to pay me anything off the bat. All you gotta do is, hey, like I said, make the figure of me and, give me a discount on what you give me product wise, so I could sell it for a larger price at my shows.
Yeah.
And that's all I need. That right there helps me out big time, and it helps them out big time because, they can make a larger profit in the end. That right there, and it helped, like, it's right off the beginning financially, that's huge. Because I'm not having to go out pay them, $5,000, $10,000, or some crazy number that I can't afford. But that's something I would consider that most definitely. So I mean, there's huge interest, obviously.
You got some options.
Having actual wrestlers to be part of the line, that sparks a lot of interest. That is something I want to do, and
helps put your line over.
Yeah. But I also gotta refocus on the card backing. How am I going to? Now I gotta probably push back the BBA release, because how am I going to have what's the card back going to look like? What figures or what characters am I releasing now?
Because you want to put the Series 1 figures on each card back, right? You like that look LGN and stuff. But you need to know what you need to finalize your series before you can put them on there.
And I need to know exactly who's going to be on there.
Yeah. Yeah, that's tricky. Do you hold them all up? You hold them all up just to figure out those figures?
Yeah, and I could say, okay, Bone Breaking Action is the first one released, and only have BBA's picture on the back of the card. And let's say I release the Devil figure, for example, as a second figure, and on the back of his figure have BBA and the Devil. That way, okay, 2 figures released, 2 figures on the back. Let's say hypothetically, let's say I'm releasing your figure, and you're wrestler C, and on that you're the 3rd figure released, and then it shows all 3 characters that have been released because hey, this is the 3 characters so far. That's and then here's character 4 or character D, and it'll show you all 4. We could do something like that, but
and then just keep adding that figure. That'd be interesting. Looks like Fig Finder says that's dope. You know Fig Finder? Are they new?
Thanks so much, man. I mean, I definitely got some ideas. I mean, Bone Breaking Action, Bum Shadows. I mean, we're coming up with a lot of different concepts. I really think that the bootleg option is something that can bring in a ton of ideas, a ton of new characters, but I want to put the whole bootleg as a back burner because I want to try to get real people, legitimate people first and foremost.
Yeah.
But that's like I only want Maniac Right Wrestling to be bootleg characters if all else fails and we can't get any other character. And Series 1 obviously was supposed to be the YouTuber character.
Okay. Yeah, and you're not ready to give up on real players yet, right? It's too soon to be like, fine, I'll bootleg them.
Yeah. So even the Waddy's Channel Soldier, I don't know if that's even going to happen anymore.
No, not at all. Not even Series 2.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think anyone that's because I have a certain vision in mind, and I don't think anyone is going to be able to meet my vision, and it's frustrating because that to me is going to be like a perfect action figure, but would it sell? Well, like how many people are invested in me that much to want to buy a Waddy Soldier?
Good question. But it's really more disappointing about, I guess people can't make it, or because you've tilted at a few different windmills trying to get people to say, oh, can you make this? And nobody seems to be able to make it. And you're not really describing a hard figure to make, I don't think, right?
Yeah, and that one guy I was telling you about, like trying to charge me $450. I'm like, that's like, come on, like, I mean, am I gonna have to be that desperate one day to go back to him and be like, dude, you're gonna charge me almost $500? I'll pay your freaking $500 because you know what? You said you could do it. I need this figure made. Let's get it done.
Maybe if you've already got a successful business and you've sold some figures, then maybe because it'd be honestly, $500 would be a drop in the bucket if you know you're going to make these figures and you're going to sell a couple hundred of them. Then okay, it's the price of doing business, even if it is overpaying a little bit. But you don't know yet. It's too soon, day one, probably, or day zero, to be like, I'll overpay for this. When you might not sell any, or you don't know how the rest of the business is going to go yet. It's still a big unknown, isn't it? You don't want to put too much money into it. Though I guess molds are really expensive, no matter what you do, aren't they? You're talking $6,000 either way.
Yeah, and that's what's killing me. We got to find another way to make rubber figures or something without expensive ass molds. That's ridiculous.
Is that about the going right? AJ and people you've talked to say that?
AJ told me the same thing. Sean over at KWK Kayfabe Heroes, he said the same thing. Sal over at Rush, he told me that he pays like $6,000 for his. So I mean, like apparently $6,000 is like what it costs to make a mold. I'm like, why? Like, why is $6,000 for a mold? Like, that's crazy.
Will they put like gold or platinum in it or something? Like, why is it so expensive? And adamantium is in there or something?
Like, he beats the heck out of me. But like BBA, he asked some good questions. Like, is this stuff made out of steel or something? Like, how often does this stuff get reutilized and stuff? And I'm like, I don't know. Like, I thought this stuff like breaks up after X amount of uses or something. But like, can this stuff be used 10 million times, or does it get used X amount of times and then hey, after 300 uses it breaks up and it's it doesn't give you the sort of perfection. Maybe there's holes in the material, and then it
Yeah.
doesn't give you that perfect figure anymore. And then you got to buy a new mold.
That's a good question. Yeah, I would assume eventually it would degrade, but after how many figures? Is it a? Well, I wonder how many molds does Mattel go through? I assume they use molds and stuff for the LGNs. What if they'd know? Oh yeah, we mold every 1,000 figures, we mold every 10,000 figures. I mean, clearly for them, even $6,000 a mold. Yeah, I guess if they do it in house, maybe they save some money. But I wonder what they pay for their molds. How much it costs them to mold the Hogans and the LGNs we've already seen, and then Series 2 that we're seeing. Because how many LGNs do you think they'll make? They got to make a ton of them.
For each individual figure. I mean, Hulk Hogan alone, I mean, how many do you think they would have probably produced that? 50,000 figures?
Yeah, so if it's one mold every 1,000, that'd be a lot of molds. They'd have to charge more than $25, wouldn't they? A figure? I wonder. Yeah, I don't even know. I didn't even really thought about the process of how, until you got into it, how AJ and BRG and Mattel does that. Mold sounds right. I would assume eventually you might have to fix it or it breaks down because it's a physical process of some kind, but maybe it's over tons of thousands, hundreds of thousand figures. I don't even know. But if they do say you have to get the most out of your molds, I don't know if that means they can do a lot of figures. So that's why they release a lot of repaints. Like if the BRG folks, they have the one flare mold and then they can make 4 or 5 different repaints of flares, and even at 500 or 1,000 a pop. I wonder if they would say that. They probably wouldn't tell you because it's their business. But AJ might let you know. You're friendly with him. And you said Sean, is that the main person behind KWK? I don't know that.
Yeah, he's the owner. And he actually posted something on Facebook the other day that said that for Kayfabe Heroes, that he actually took a loss last year.
Wow.
And I'm like, man, that don't say that, because I actually thought his company did really well, and I'm surprised that his business would take any sort of loss. Like, he seems like to really know what he's doing with his business.
Makes you worry about yours then, don't you're like,
yeah,
a big company like KWK.
Exactly. He's operating at a loss. And here's the thing. He's got a loyal fan base. Like if he releases 3 Barry Horowitz, people are gonna buy 3 Barry Horowitz.
I do. I personally have 3 or 4.
They're gonna buy 2 Max Moons, etc.
I got them both, for instance. Yeah, but I mean, I got them on sale and stuff. And maybe that's why they've had to have a sale. Maybe he's not popular to some of the retro people because they spent all their money at grapplers and gimmicks or whatever, so they can't afford. Because also some of the wrestlers he has aren't as big time as even grapplers and gimmicks. Well, but like Coco Beware is known to more people than even Barry Horowitz or even Bull Nagano. That's the problem. He's not getting Demolition. So I mean, Demolition, yeah, he could print money. But no offense, but Barry Horowitz, Max Moon, there's some interesting characters, but they're not going to be as popular as even the grapplers and gimmicks.
I mean, you hear someone like Ox Baker, like who's Ox Baker in comparison to some? I got it.
And for us historians, it's great. And like Kyle Peterson said, there's not a lot of Ox Bakers out there, but there's not a lot of people looking for either, unfortunately. But for the people who know, they'll want one. But will there be enough people that want a Baker or even know who that is and Heart Punch and all that stuff? Cool figure, but not a lot of people are like, who's Ox Baker? I want, John Cena or whatever, right? They don't want Ox Baker.
Then you kind of look at that, and you look at what I'm trying to do with this man, right? If I start going with a bunch of, indie wrestlers, like people are looking at AEW, they're looking at the main WWE and whatnot. And if I'm starting to these particular wrestlers, like if they are not in the big hub, they're like, well, I don't know who this person is. So you're just putting a name on a package. Like, yeah, maybe the packaging and everything looks incredible, but I don't know anything about this person.
You definitely have to get your Kyle Peterson type push your product probably to help you out, right? You might even have to give it away and say, hey, Kyle, could you review this, right? And hopefully give you a good review, and maybe that would help. But even if he gives a great review, people might still be like, well, who's, Dippity Doodah, whatever the wrestler is, right? I've never heard of this person. I've never heard of BBA. Well, you might still run into that. But and part of it is I think his figures aren't super expensive either, so I don't know if he can make enough per figure, and so when he had to drop the price, that really cut into his profit. How many years has Sean been? His KWK's been around for a couple of years now, haven't they?
I mean, I would say a few years. I think I started collecting theirs, I want to say around 22, 23, something like that.
Okay.
When I first heard about them. So, I mean, it's been a while. It's been a few years at least.
Has he pulled a profit before? Was it just last year he struggled? Maybe with...
I don't know. I just kind of read his comment because somebody is like he was making a ton of money, and he just kind of responded to the comment that he took a loss last year, and I just kind of picked up on that particular comment, that response, and I forgot what he was what they were commenting on or whatnot, and he just happened to respond to that. I just kind of was following that
interesting
that track, so.
It's very possible. I mean, and it's not just him. He's got a company of people he has to employ to help him sell these figures and design them. And how long does it take from we signed a person to figure in hand? Probably takes a while, so that's a lot of cost that you don't recoup until you sell all of those figures. And there's still like Barry Horowitz figures to be had, right? At, J&J and wherever you buy figures from KWK. So
and
until he sells them all,
the Ox Bakers and Barry Horowitz, and I still need all those, but I really have to manage my money like badly. So I put all of that stuff on hold, and
especially if you're going to get in the business, you need to preserve some capital. Maybe finish off a few house projects too, and then those molds don't make themselves. They don't pay for themselves. You have to pay for them up front first. Hopefully they pay for themselves eventually, but you still got to front the money. But that's interesting. I wonder, does AJ ever talk about that stuff? I wonder how he's doing. I always worry. So I look at is it Top Rope Collectibles? They're the ones that make the globes, right?
Yep.
They've only released a few, and I know it's more than one person that works at that company. So I'm nervous about them. I'm like, I don't know where they have their money, but they have what, PM News and then Diamond Stud. I think that's all they've released so far. So I wonder how they're doing this profit and loss. Will they go under, those smaller companies, they don't release a lot of figures, right? Scrappers and Gimmicks, Haskell, he's releasing figures all the time. Just dumped a bunch more. Figure Collections just dumped a bunch more, like 4 or 5 or 6. You got
an actual brick and mortar store, and
who does?
So I think that's where they actually have capital to actually fund all of those.
Who does?
And Haskell Toys.
Oh, okay. So he's got brick and mortar. Okay. But like Top Rope, as far as I know, are they in the UK?
Who's it? Davidson. Was it Josh Davidson or John? David. No, David. Something Davidson. I'm sorry, I forget.
John
his name.
Jacob Jingleheimer Schmidt. His name is my name too.
Davidson. Jacob Davidson.
John Jacob Jingleheimer Schmidt.
I forget his name. The owner. I believe he's the owner.
Owner of Top Rope.
I believe he's the owner. He's always leaving posts for TRC, so I thought he's the owner, but
could be.
But I know the name Davidson. That name pops up in my head. I can't remember the first name, but anyway,
they're doing. Of course, maybe they just started, but they only really have 2, right? And I think I've got all of them. I think you don't even have all of them. I think is it Orndorff's next or somebody else like that? But they haven't released a lot. Of course, I guess the pre-order model, so maybe they're okay.
Yep, but I always thought that he was like an individual seller. I didn't know that he was like in a full-on business.
Oh,
I thought he was like someone like me trying to start off and try to sell for himself or whatnot.
I mean, I guess he still could be. He just has to name Top Rope Collectibles. Maybe, it's really just one person. There's a few people on his website are listed, so I assume he's got help. Because, I mean, one person I don't think can do it all. Like you're like, okay, who's going to help me design the card back? And who's going to do this and that, right? That's a lot of work for one person. I assume AJ gets help. I don't think he's doing it all. Plus, he's got a full-time job, I think, too, right? So I could imagine he probably needs some help. Yeah, more power to him. Just kind of curious now I think about it. Do I have to worry about my pre-orders? Is this going to turn into PowerCon too? No, I don't think it will. But where does he get his money? Because he's only got the 2 lines so far. And I think you can still get him at like J&J and maybe. And they're not super expensive. Were they like $30 or $40 a piece? $30 a piece or something like that?
Yeah, I usually think all those figures are like $40. So that's pretty much the price tag I usually have in mind.
I think so. That seems to be a good going rate for retros and that side. I guess they're the only gloobs in town right now. I haven't seen any other gloobs really. The major bendies aren't gloob stock really. So they're probably it, right? For now, Top Rope. Which helps. Except for if nobody's interested in gloob like you or I are. But it does scratch that itch, because I remember right after the retros, the Hasbro retros, I bought gloobs. I remember going into Toys R Us with my lawnmower money or whatever money I had, and I'm like, okay, time to get Ric Flair, whoever. Who's next on my gloob list, and add to it. I wish I still had those somewhere.
And if the LJNs didn't work out, I mean, gloob was the next phase. And
for yourself?
Yep.
You think about making some globes? Are the molds any cheaper though, or are we still talking that order of cost? Probably, huh?
I would assume. I mean,
I don't
I
know.
don't know because I mean, even the guys, even all these Hasbro guys are telling me
Are those molds expensive too? I never thought about that.
the molds are $6,000.
Yeah.
Rush Collectibles were saying it was $6,000. So,
Wow.
if and Sean from KWK was saying the molds are $6,000. So,
maybe we need to get in the mold business. If you can make a cheaper mold for these companies, and they buy the molds from you or something.
So, man, I'm assuming even Galoob like 4 inches would probably be $6,000 too. But how are 4-inch Hasbro's the same cost as a 8-inch rubber LJN? I don't understand that.
Yeah,
That don't make no sense to me.
Doesn't you? I know it might not be half the price, but it should be cheaper because there's probably some fixed costs whenever you're building a mold, no matter 4 inches or 8 inches. But you would think it'd be less material. I don't know, maybe because it's smaller, depending on the detail. Maybe the details ramp up the price. I don't know. I don't even know what goes into making a mold, so I'm talking on my ass here, really. $6,000, probably no big deal. Like if you're gonna sell a bunch of them, but
it's actually pretty cool. Actually, I was watching one of these shorter live. I don't know if it was a shorter live stream or just a regular video. Walnut Wit had a really cool video where she was doing mold, where she was pouring molds for dice.
Okay, and probably similar.
And just the way that she created the dice on that, she had an actual mold for the dice, and I'm like, that's freaking interesting. That's cool as hell. And I mean, it was a smaller item, obviously, for dice, but I mean, if you could do that for like actual action figures and stuff, if I knew how to do that here and found someone, professionally who could paint the figures, and pay them to do the paint job.
Mm-hmm.
There's probably some people you can probably find on Facebook who can custom design actual card backs and probably even do the bubble and stuff. But how much would that charge you? Would they charge you to do all that?
What is a place like Random Treasures? What do they make molds and make their figures using molds too?
Yeah, she pours her own mold and creates her own rubber. So, and she does her own paintwork. So that's why she could charge like $150 after taxes or after a discount. It's like $130.
Can she make you a mold or too expensive or not quite what you need?
When I reached out to her last year, she said that she'd get back to me, but she never did. I reached out to her a few months later and tried to touch base again, and she said she'd reach back out, but never did. So I assume that she just had no interest in it and was just nervous about telling me no or something,
or too busy, which means she can't do it anyways. Is that her only job? Is that her main job is the Random Treasure stuff, or does she do other stuff?
Well, she was the store owner. She had the Random Treasure store in Rosedale, but that store closed down last December. And damn, has it been that was last December?
December 24, right? Not 25. So it's been over a year now?
That's been over a year.
Been like 13 months. I wonder what she does.
That's crazy. Like, that's been a long freaking time.
Mm-hmm. Time flies, huh?
It doesn't feel like it's been that long.
Yeah, we're in 2026. Yeah, because I think you talked about it before your December live stream, so it's probably been December 24.
Yeah, that is nuts. Like, it does not feel like her store's been closed down that long. But
so I wonder if she's got another job and that's cutting into her Random Treasures time or time. Well, she's doing it all herself. Maybe it just takes her that long to release her figures and stuff. She really has no time to do anything but.
I'm pretty sure she makes a good amount of money from her Etsy store. Selling the wrestling figures.
I wonder how much she sells though. Like for her item, she might make a lot, but
I mean, if she sells it, after the discount, $130. I mean, through Etsy, she probably clears $100, $110.
You think so? Do they not charge much commissions and stuff?
I mean, same thing as eBay and Mercari, I would imagine, probably around 20%.
At least similar, if not, But how many figures do you sell in a given week, month, day? I don't know. I wonder how much she does sell. Do you ever talk to her? Do you know her that well?
No, not really.
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't really talked to her not in months.
Because if that's your only source of income, you got to pay for rent, mortgage and food and utilities, gas. stuff. Yeah, there's
Plus, I would
definitely idiots
imagine
into
all
it.
the stuff from her store, though, she probably has that in either storage or she probably has a booth set up somewhere.
Yeah, I wonder,
And
does she sell
she
on
probably,
eBay or anywhere else? Because she sold some non-custom stuff too at her store, right?
yeah.
Yeah,
She
so she could
a toy store.
so
So,
she could eBay or Mercari something too, maybe.
yeah, so she probably has like, she's probably set up at like some flea market and she probably
Okay,
sells some stuff there.
or maybe it's less risk. Maybe you don't have to pay as much because she's not in the whole place, and she can take advantage of where other people are there looking at other stuff might stumble upon her booth and buy something from her too, kind of thing, maybe.
Yeah.
Hmm.
But man, if I was Nut, I would have made like 20 to 40 molds of like every single figure that she had available, everything that she had on her roster, and actually put that up in my store at that time. Because any people that come into her toy store and looked around, seeing all those LJNs, like that was been something to freaking have, not just off Etsy. That would, or maybe she would have been nervous. Like maybe
Yeah,
somebody would come in and maybe they would have said something, did something. I don't know. Maybe there was reason why she didn't have a bunch. I mean, obviously, I didn't travel to Maryland, so I never been there. I've only seen
yeah.
pictures and video of what the store looked like.
It's
So,
one of your followers is in Maryland. I think has been to the store, right? Do you remember? Was it
Corey, I know he said he's
Corey?
been there before. I think Kirk's been there.
Okay,
I don't know if Jason's been there before. I think maybe he talked about it before, but I think maybe. I don't know if Jason. Jason's not a follower. I don't think he follows my channel.
but at least somebody you know in your sphere. I know there's a few people. I think you're right. That Corey talked about because I think he's actually in Maryland. Um, that's interesting. Of course, is it because do you think she was nervous because these are all not bootleg, is that the wrong term? They're actual real figures, wrestlers that she's not paying for the likenesses of, kind of thing. Is she worried about that? Maybe
Yeah, I've always said that was an issue.
I'll get nervous, but I guess she
Like
hasn't been sued
like
yet.
a lot of people have like every time I've done Random Treasures, not every single video, but a lot of time, whenever I did Random Treasures reviews, there would normally be, someone in the comments like, "Are these licensed figures?
Oh,
Why is so and so not getting sued? Yada yada." And I'm like,
I don't
they're
know.
customs.
Is
At
that
the end of the day, they're custom figures.
is that
Um,
as long as she doesn't say this is money for Hulk Hogan, then it's not. Or
I mean, yeah, it's still a Hulk Hogan figure. I mean, you're calling them Hulk Hogan. You're calling them Roddy
I mean,
Piper. You're calling
it feels
them
like I'm surprised
Mr. T.
nobody's
You're
taken it
calling them
down.
Bruce. They're still the exact same character. I mean, that doesn't change. But it's like the example I gave before. If I go on to and I take an LJN Roddy Piper and we repaint him to look like Bob Backlund, and we put him on eBay and sell it as Bob Backlund,
Hmm.
I can't get sued by LJN or whoever that owns LJN or whoever or the family of Roddy Piper or the family of Bob Backlund for selling a Bob Backlund figure because it's a custom figure.
Are we sure? Just
So
because she hasn't been sued, are we sure that she couldn't be? It feels like she should be able to be sued, but I don't know the laws. I know they do make a big stink of it because I think the BRG folks and maybe some other companies talk about, yeah, all our figures are licensed. I don't know what happens if they aren't, but of course they are companies mass producing them, so that is a difference. If they were
yeah,
releasing Ric Flair figures without Ric Flair as a
I
license, they would get shut down very quickly. Ric Flair's lawyers, right?
yeah, I know that I know Big Rubber Guys, they've talked about that on their podcast, but
Yeah,
I'm
because
like,
usually somebody on his whatnot or somebody will ask Cardone, well, why don't you have, the Bushwhackers? Like, well, they have to be licensed and they probably have a Legends agreement with WWE, so they can't sign them, right? Usually something like that. We're not going to make unlicensed figures, and he'll tell them point blank. It's not our fault. We can't sign them, so we're not going to make, fake figures or whatever you want to call them.
yeah,
They
and
literally have to call it out.
and sometimes when they cut into it, they talk about Ram Chargers too, and they kind of, I don't want to say bitch about them, but
The major pod folks have?
when they complain about licensing and whatnot,
Yeah.
trust me, I'm right there too. I agree. I'm on both sides. I
I mean, I'm not
understand.
going to sue anybody. I'm just surprised it hasn't happened because if you
Yeah,
clearly
I
release a
understand
Hulk
the
Hogan
need
figure,
to get the representative, what they deserve.
yeah. Yeah.
Um, that's why when I'm talking about my own line, for example, why I say it's important for me to make sure that the person that I'm making a figure of, gets paid somehow, uh, respectively,
Yeah.
to the best of what I can afford. Like when
Yeah.
I talk about signing someone like Mick Foley, can I go out and pay him 50 grand? I can't. Can I go out and sign indie wrestler XYZ for $1,000 right now? Probably not. But can I sign him to $1,000 if I know 100% that hey, I could sell 500 figures or 1,000 figures, sell them for $100 a piece, and they would sell within a month, no questions asked.
Well, and you
With
make the agreement, say, hey, I can't pay you up front, but you're going to get an X percent. You're going to get cut of every figure, maybe, or something like that too, right? Mick seems like the kind of guy you could do maybe a small contract with, but I don't. Maybe not, because he's such a nice guy, and he's probably got enough money. But I don't know what he's probably, because I think he's famously. Well, I think he's still under contract with WWE, but I think he's not going to renew it. Maybe next year, because a lot of people have already said, "Hey, BRG folks, you need to come out with the BRG of Mick Foley, sign him up, right? If he's going to go off his Legends contract." And I started thinking about that, but I'm like, well, what if Waddy or someone could get him too, or AJ or someone? But I don't even know how would you get a hold of him? How would you?
I actually tried reaching out to Fred Ottman.
Okay. Oh yeah. Is he under contract with WWE?
I think he actually is he because I don't think so. Like I don't even think natural disasters aren't even Hall of Famers for WWF WWE. So
I think they just did get inducted last year, the year before, but I don't think they have to be. Do they have to be a Legends contract to do that? Maybe they do.
But because I kind of reached out to him, like I'm like, hey, big fan, always respect your career, yada yada. I forgot exactly what I wrote, but I basically let him know what I was doing, and basically let him know, hey, I was interested in making a figure of him, essentially.
That'd be cool. Did you get a response?
And like I said, I honestly never expect, because we're Facebook friends, yada yada, but I never expected to hear back from him.
Mm-hmm.
And I probably sent that message maybe a month or so ago, and no response. Like I said, I was never expecting a response, and if I ever did get a response, like, oh shoot, like I would have been amazed. But
what would you do? It'd be like the dog in the car, something like, oh, he's interested. Crap. Okay, let's make a. I mean, he also could just be very busy, because I think I see a lot on Facebook him traveling here, there, and everywhere. Like I saw Jim Duggan. That guy travels like a crazy person. So they might not even have time to respond. Plus, he probably gets a lot of outreach. They're still very famous, popular people.
Yeah,
but I think the
I agree
disasters.
1000%.
Yeah, I think the disasters are in the Hall of Fame now, but I don't think Tenta is Earthquake or individually is. I know how they can, like I think Ric Flair's in there 3 or 4 times now. You can get doubly inducted. Oh, you're in there with the group. Is the 4 Horsemen? You're in as yourself. You're in as. I think even Flair got in as was it Evolution? What was he with Randy Orton? Remember that group for a while? I don't remember.
That's insane.
I don't know if it is, but some of them you can get multiply inducted. Kind of like in some of the sports, you might get inducted as a head coach, and as a player, and as
I can understand the tag team and the individual inception or induction, but
like I'm pretty sure Flair's in by himself and with the 4 Horsemen, but I feel like there's a third time he was inducted. Yeah, the Shark.
The Golga in.
And for the longest time, I didn't realize that was Tenta, that he came back as Golga. I don't remember when I learned that, just a couple years ago. I'm like, that was him? I didn't know that, because of course he kept his mask on the whole time, right? He never took it off. I didn't even think about his body shape or if it looked like Earthquake, because he was such a different character, such a different gimmick, such a different look. I mean, there's a ton of big guys that wrestle. I didn't think it was Earthquake, Tenta.
You see, that's another thing, and I think WCW, just kind of looking at all these characters I want,
the Shark.
I think WCW has the most random names, like the Inmate instead of Nails.
Yeah.
Or the Shark instead of Earthquake, right? Like, you can create these guys or Killer Kongs as a tag team. Like, I can create these. I mean, you could put these characters on. Create these characters for MRW, right?
Yeah.
And use those exact same names. And I don't think you could even consider that to be copyright, because even though they're exact WCW names, because they're so basic, so bland, that they could technically be anything.
Yeah, the Inmate, is that really trademarked? Can you even trademark that as a wrestling name?
And you can actually have nails. I forget his real name. I think his name is Kevin or something. But you can have we'll call him Kevin's face, or you can bootleg it up a little bit so that it's your own take on the character. The one that Bum Shadows did, which was to me that was an amazing figure. Kind of like Don Morocco
It was
hands. I
great
would like
looking.
the hands up a little bit more, but if we were to put that actual figure in production, I would be crazy excited about that. Like, I like that piece a lot. I would be okay sending that to the factory as is.
Did you say Don Morocco?
Don Morocco.
Yeah, is he signed anywhere? When's the last time you seen a figure of his? Not that he's not that everybody's clamoring for him, but he does come up a lot because I watched that one MVP podcast that does a lot of old, like early '80s wrestling and stuff. So he comes up a lot there. Is he available? I think he's still around. Might be surfing in Hawaii or something. He's always in good shape. I wonder if he's available. I mean, that'd be a legitimate character. He has an LGN, doesn't he? He was around long enough to get an LGN. Was there was some Morocco LGN, wasn't there?
So there's a Don Morocco LGN, yes.
From the originals, yeah. I thought he was around long enough to make it. Yeah. I wonder if he's got a WWE.
So John Penta was too thin to play Earthquake.
Yeah, I wonder what according to the bookers.
I mean, who did they want? Yokozuna?
He was always
which was a fun match, actually.
Earthquake.
The single match between Earthquake and Yokozuna.
They only wrestled once?
I mean, I just remember that sumo where they took the ropes off the ring.
I mean, Earthquake would have been in wrestling earlier. He'd have been older than Yokozuna, so it's possible they didn't overlap a lot when they were active, right? I think
that was what, 93, I think? 93, 94?
I remember they introduced Earthquake in the audience, isn't it? I mean, it was a plan, of course, right? Because the next big bad Hogan had to take down was this big guy dressed in jeans in the audience. Right? I think, is that how they introduced Hillbilly Jim, too? I forgot how he got introduced like as a fan in the audience, too. Right?
Was it like City?
I think so. I'm trying. That was even earlier, though. So I was a little kid probably when that happened.
Who's this hillbilly sitting in the stands? Or something like that. I don't know.
I thought so. I have to go see if that's in the vault somewhere. Now that it's not on Peacock. There's probably, or somebody might have. I know sometimes those videos get taken down on YouTube. And there's probably like here's the first sighting of Hillbilly Jim. I thought it was something like that. I could be wrong. Kind of curious now.
Oh, man, I found this picture the other day I thought was pretty amazing. And it's something I hadn't seen in years.
That means Hillbilly Jim probably doesn't have a Legends contract because he's getting the BRG created, I think, right? Because usually they always say, hey, if he's got a Legends contract, they can't make it. So Tito and him don't have it. Yeah. I don't know, not to interrupt, but it just dawned on me that they're releasing the BRG of him, so maybe he doesn't have a Legends contract.
And Tito Santana is coming from Latuni as well.
And we know Tito probably doesn't because he's controlling his own. He's doing it the right way, like the Macho Man estate is, right? No, make as many figures as you can. I'm going to sell his name everywhere. I mean, admittedly, Tito's not popular as Macho, but he's popular enough to get a couple lines now.
You know what? I didn't even think about that. Like
3 of them, because Grapplers and Gimmicks, there's a Strike Force, a couple of Strike Forces, right? So Tito's everywhere now. And the model, Rick Martel, he's in a couple different lines.
Well, Tito's coming from Latuni, and I think isn't he also in the what the hell is that damn company that's been trying to hold their line for like 2 years?
Powertown,
thank you.
Who else is in there? So
Tito Santana supposed to be on one of those cards?
I don't know about that one, but maybe. But at least we know he's been multiple BRG and Grapplers and Gimmicks in Latuni. It's okay, I understand. She's funny, she's skinny, she's pretty, don't worry what she's either. Did I miss something? Hey, Ross is in the house. Okay, great. We saved all our mail content. Ross is here. Our hot mail content. I don't know who. Does that make any sense to you? Sporadic XD?
I have no idea.
It feels like a non sequitur, or they put it in their own chat. Hit the likes, subscribe to mail, do whatever you can.
Subscribe to mail.
Amazon subscriptions. Make sure you don't run out of mail. You better subscribe. I see even Walmart has this too. I don't think I would subscribe to anything. My tastes change all the time.
Ross, you missed the golden opportunity earlier, man. We had the big old container. We're eating it out like ice cream. You missed it.
Yeah, you have to rewind it when we're done.
Man,
yeah, exactly. Mayonnaise, everything. It'd be like, you remember when Bubba and Forrest Gump was like shrimp gumbo and shrimp cocktail, and that's like that, but mayo. Yeah, I like mayo, but it doesn't have to be in everything.
I'll pass.
But I mean, hey, like a potato salad, that's got good mayo in it. I think there's a few pasta salads I like with mayo. Probably not coleslaw. Probably doesn't have mayo in it. Actually, I've never. I think I made some coleslaw with mayo.
What you gotta do is you gotta get yourself a vodka martini, and you gotta rim the edges instead of salt or sugar. You gotta put mayonnaise around the edges.
Oh my! Oh jeez. That would be. Is that the word I'm looking for? Actually, the worst part about that for me is probably the martini. I don't like martinis. Just I take a mayonnaise martini, hold the martini. I'll just take the mayo around. It's extra dirty on that one. That's an extra dirty martini. You won't worry about that. Isn't it a dirty they put like the olive juice or whatever in it too? You won't be worrying about that. You'll be concentrating on the mayo. Love that mayo. Not the idea though. That salt or whatever, ringing it with mayo. Thin line and mayo.
Man, I need ideas for videos, for YouTube videos, because I'm down to I filmed my last 4th round video today, and I have a round 5 episode, and then I have round 6 and 7 on Sunday. That's gonna be one episode, and that's it. That's the tournament.
So just like football, your tournament's nearing the end too, huh?
Yeah. So unless I magically end up with like 10 or 15 brand new Galoob customs overnight, I don't have a Galoob tournament to make, and that's really the only one that I have left to do. So I don't have any wrestling videos I want to make. I'm not going to be doing reviews anymore. Unless I do another LGN tournament at the end of this year, I'm not going to have any more tournament videos to make.
Do you still like making tournaments? The videos and stuff?
I mean, like I said, this is the 4th time I made an LGN tournament. At this point, it's getting overkill even for me. The only reason I want to keep making them is because I want to see other figures win the darn tournament.
Oh, well, okay.
I want to make them because I want to be able to say, hey, this figure won this darn tournament. But that's it.
Are you sick of tournaments in general though, or is there time to do?
I mean, I want to do something like if I do a Galoob tournament, that's different. It's like the first time making it. If I haven't done a Hasbro tournament, that would be different. It would be something completely different. But it's just making the same tournament over and over again. That's what's different about it.
When's the last time you've done a retro tournament? And then would you just open it up to non-Hasbro retros, or all the Metro, Mattel and Hasbro and Zombie Sailor?
I've never done a Mattel retro tournament, so that would be different. But I mean, then I have to start pulling all the figures off the shelf, and I mean, do I really want to go back to all that again? I mean, I do have all of them loose, so I could.
Well,
I could do that.
Or BRGs, you don't think there's enough of those to make a tournament, and you're not ready for that?
I mean, I could do a Big Rubber Guys, and that wouldn't take too long. They don't have that many figures, like less than, I think they have like 60 something.
Would that be enough? I guess 60. Yeah, you'd have to do some seeding to figure out. 64 would be perfect because that'd be 32, 16, 8, 4, 2, 1. Yeah. Do you have 64 of them, or you have a few first round buys in there to figure that out?
I mean, there'd be like a couple, 3-man matchups, towards the end probably.
That could work.
And I'd either have, 1 move forward, or I'd have 2 move forward. I mean, it depends.
Well, you mix in some of the unis. Probably not enough Mattel LGNs, though. I guess you could. Do you carve out just a modern LGN tournament? I don't know. Probably LGN'd out. Well, you don't include the BRGs in your LGN tournaments, so I guess
no,
you could.
And that was something that David recommended to me. He's like, hey, why don't you just throw in Big Rubber Guys to your future LGN tournaments? And next year I might do that. But am I going to go back to this tournament was just my favorite figures, minus a select few that I acquired that were brand new figures that weren't part of last tournaments. But if I do this tournament again at the end of this year, 2026, year 5, if I do Big Rubber Guys, if I include those as part of this tournament, if I include, let's say, Mattel LGNs, Do I include just my favorite figures, or do I include all of them?
Or are you sick of doing tournaments? Do you think of any other fig fed type content like bumming them? What else can we do? You don't want to do reviews.
So tournaments are pretty much out for the most part. I'm not doing figure reviews. Like I said, my videos don't get a lot of views anyway. So I want to start doing something else. I'm gonna obviously still have wrestling content here and there, but it's just not gonna be as much as what I've had in years past. So I want to start making other type of videos, but what kind of videos do my viewers want to watch that's going to be fun to watch? You know, year ago, 2 years ago, I made a few Karen videos here and there, and those got like 3,000 views, 2,000 views, 1,500 views here on that one, 2,500 views on that one, and I'm like, is that what I got to do? Do I got to make Karen videos or something to get some sparks? And I actually got a lot of new subscribers off of those videos, but
Well, maybe.
it just takes so much time to make those videos, edit them. Whereas a wrestling video, like all I gotta do is film it and upload it.
Oh, yeah.
So that's as far as making a video, it's relatively simple. Where editing and all that, you literally gotta take a couple hours to
Hmm.
make a video. So
But it doesn't get as many views, though, unfortunately, right? You want to hit
yeah,
that sweet spot that you can generate more content but still get enough views without
yeah. So you
taking
really
all
gotta put
day.
in the extra work if you wanted to, hit that audience. So I mean, that's what I'm gonna have to start doing. So really, videos might go. I might only be producing maybe one or two videos a week.
But maybe higher quality videos. Let's see, what is that?
Yeah, basically.
I'm trying to. That looks almost dirty and nut based. I searched for nut emojis. So I had the bob cut. He reminded me of Becky Connor from Roseanne. Wow,
Mm.
that's an interesting thought process. Trying to think of Ric Flair's Becky from Roseanne. I haven't lumped those two together before.
Mm.
Big time Karen. Huh. First heard back in the late 80s. Yeah, I can kind of picture it. Need to look him up on the vault. Yeah, it's tough because I haven't thought about generating content. I guess I should think about it because I watch content. I've been really getting into this. What is it? Beard versus food. He goes around
Yeah.
and does all these food challenges. I don't know why. It's usually when I'm eating lunch or dinner though, so maybe it's something to do with that. Like I'll watch him eat a 50-pound pizza or whatever while I'm eating my mayo covered sandwich. Karen cut that Flair bob cut.
The bob cut.
That's a
I'm
good.
telling you, that's not the bob cut, but I'm thinking about getting the damn Guile haircut from Street
Really?
Fighter.
Yeah.
I got to get the whole the front part where it all shoots out like this and everything, man. I
Yeah.
told my wife I'm gonna get a military flat top. She's like, "Don't do it. You gotta look stupid." I'm like, "Dude, I've already had a flat top back in '08." It's funny. My one of my fellow soldiers. I guess he like dared me to go get a flat top. Like you wouldn't like. I guess they thought I wouldn't look good with a flat top. And like, dude, I'll pay for your haircut if you get a flat top. I'm like,
Okay.
shoot, okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'll get a darn flat top. Ah,
Oh
sorry.
yeah, you would have to dye it, wouldn't you? Blonde. Guile was more
Ah,
of a blonde or light brown. Blonde? He was blonde, wasn't he, Guile? Yeah. Do you have to dye it blonde too? Have you ever dyed your hair?
multiple times, yeah. Every
I,
so often, my wife will come in if she dyes her hair or whatnot. It's like, hey, you want to dye your hair? I'm like, yeah, let's go for it. I haven't had my hair blonde in a long time though, but I think my hair looks good blonde.
State trooper. Well, there you go. That could work then. I only did it once or twice when I was a kid, and I didn't want to deal with it again. Pain in the butt. I was lazy. Be a state trooper. The blonde flat top, huh?
No, I got what is it called? Muck rack, mock rack, muck something. people that sit down in front of the damn cameras and just stuff their face for like 20 minutes, and then people spend like get like 8,000 views just to watch people like make a damn fool of themselves on like mukbang. I think it's called mukbang, something bang, something with
McBain?
something with an M.
McBain from The Simpsons? Remember
Bang,
the
bang.
Schwarzenegger character? No. And they're just eating food on camera? Is that all they're doing, or?
I'm like, there's this one dude.
I don't know what this is. Mukbang? I've never heard
Dude
of
that sit there. He's like eating like
Mukbang.
uncooked chicken. And he's like sitting there talking to the camera, all creepy, man. Like, like what the? You creepy. Talk, dude. Talk normal. Stop it.
His body's ready to vomit and have diarrhea if he's eating raw chicken.
Like I think that he realized what the hell he's about to do. Like eating freaking uncooked, about to get himself some damn salmonella and crap.
Yeah, that doesn't sound like a good idea. It became a global trend. Online video consumes food.
Man, you gotta.
Audience reviewing it.
I'm like, you gotta do that for them views, I guess.
Oh.
I'm like, freaking weirdo.
Honestly, when you said mukbang, I thought something dirty. Sounds like some kind of weird porn genre or something.
Right.
When you take a hot poker and poke yourself in the cheeks.
Mukbang, thank you.
Doesn't it? It sounds dirty.
Mukbang.
I mean, the bang. That's when everybody does it in a mud pile or something, or mukbang. Doesn't it sound like that? An orgy in a pile of mud. It's a mukbang. That's what it sounds like.
Well, shoot, man. Like people.
It's interesting.
People like, what is it? Is it TikTok, man? Like people get on like TikTok and like people actually spend money. Like they actually donate to people. Like people actually make money doing that. And I'm like, why? Why would you do that to your health, though?
Doing the eating all. I always wondered like the beard meets food, like Ross and I were talking. I think he'll do a challenge and he'll eat like all this food in 20 minutes. And I gotta think about like eventually that's gotta come out of him. But then he has to like go without eating for a couple days. I think says like he might eat just some like Greek yogurt and some milk or something. That's gotta mess with you digestively. And then even if he started eating normal for a while, your stomach would grow to get all that food. Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't seem like a good way to make a living. And I think he'll tell you it might not be. But, there's some amazing stuff he eats, and he's not. I mean, he's a big enough guy, but he's not fat. He's in shape.
I really hope that so and so is spending like 3 hours a day on the damn treadmill afterwards, because, sheesh. Like I think people actually die from doing that too.
Yeah, somehow he stays in shape because he's in shape. If you ever check the beard versus food, is that what it is? I think, or meats food, beard versus food, meats food. And that's the other part that also kind of irks me is because usually there's a time based to most of the challenges he does, so he's eating everything with his hands usually. Yeah. And it can sometimes get everywhere. And he's got a full, huge beard. And I gotta think his beard's gotta be dirty. I think, in fact, I saw the one challenge he did. I think he's going to eat all day at as many restaurants as he could. And I think midway through the day, he went back to his hotel to wash his beard and face and stuff. I'm like, yeah, okay. Even though I don't think that was a challenge where he had to finish in time, but a lot of them are. Right? You get an hour, 30 minutes to eat 75 wings or whatever it is, Some weird stuff. Beard meats food. Okay.
Oh, shoot. You know what?
British guy.
Mondays is Raw on Netflix, huh?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So
maybe watch it.
If I ever decide I want to start watching wrestling again and actually know what the hell is going on in modern day wrestling, I might have to either eliminate Monday live streams or move Mondays to Tuesdays.
Do you really want to watch? I don't know if you're missing much. You can always watch it later. Don't have to watch it live or do a watch along.
Is there an option to watch?
I'm pretty sure they keep them. You can watch them later, right? It's been a while since I watched it.
I don't know. I haven't watched wrestling in like 25, 27 years, 28 years, something like that. It's been a long time.
I think maybe Ross is going to check, but I think it's live right now. And maybe you have to wait a bit. So maybe because I think really Netflix wants you to watch it live so they can pitch ads at you. But I think it'll be in their backlog tonight, tomorrow. You could always do a Tuesday stream, or like I said, maybe you turn it into a live stream. But then I know for some reason you can get that stuff taken down. Do a watch along. I don't know what the rules are anymore. But I see it all the time on Twitch and stuff. Then, in fact, there's probably a live stream. I've got Twitch open. I didn't look. There's probably a live stream of somebody watching tonight's. It's the college football championship tonight. I'm sure there's going to be some of those Twitchers watching the game and commenting on it. I'm pretty sure there's some Raw watch-alongs. So, did they just play that live, Ross, or was it something I can catch later too on the vault? I know every once in a while those vaults will have live things, so they have chat like you have while you're watching the event or whatever, and you can chat about it. Cool.
Do you guys know when the when the actual Royal Rumble is this year? Is it like the 25th or 26th or something like that?
Good question. It would have to be this month, right? Still, 2020. And I think this one's in Saudi Arabia now or something stupid.
Oh, that's crazy. That's awesome, though.
Yeah, Royal Rumble Riyadh, upcoming for January 31st in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, as part of Riyadh season. Yeah, I think this. I guess Saudi Arabia loves wrestling, but it still feels kind of stupid that they have all these matches over there. I think WrestleMania this year is going to be there too. I think the biggest thing is it shifts with the time. So, like if it's live at 7 p.m. Saudi Arabia, what time is it here? I don't know. But
I think they're 9 hours ahead of us, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay. Well, yeah, you being over there, you probably. So, like I said,
no, not 9.5. 9.5.
So does that mean we'll have to watch it like 10 a.m. for a show?
Yeah, like I know Afghanistan is weird because Afghanistan has that extra half hour.
Do they do that too? India does as well, I know, because I've worked with a lot of people in India. It's always a half hour that too. It's like 12 and a half, 13 and a half, depending on whether you spring forward, something like that. Oh, okay. Oh, so that was that your first time watching 91 Rumble then, Ross? Says he. I don't want. Oh, he didn't watch wrestling after that. I misread that. Yeah. I definitely tapped out. Probably WrestleMania 7, whatever you that was, until the Monday Night War.
Yeah, like once I became a baseball fan, like wrestling basically became obsolete for me. And I don't think, like, I can't say that baseball replaced wrestling as my favorite sport. That would be unfair because it's not like if you're watching one sport, you can't watch another. It's just that wrestling became more of a soap opera, and if I had kept watching it, I mean, whenever I'm flipping through the channels and like, let's say I turned on WWF, whatever, and I had it on for like 30 seconds. I don't consider that to be watching wrestling.
Oh, no.
But if I had it on for like 30 seconds or a minute or something, same thing every single time. Somebody's in the ring, microphone in hand, and they're talking. It's a soap opera. I'm like, what is this crap? It just seems so freaking stupid. Like, I had no intention of ever going back and watching it. It looks so trashy, so boring. So I was glad to never be watching that. And ever since I started getting into collecting back in towards the tail end of 2021, and just to hear everybody talk about wrestling and their passion, their love for the sport, like, it's got me wanting to get back into watching the sport again. But
I think it's
every time I try to put it on, like I see like AEW or something, and then I see like these small crowds in the back. I'm like, what is this? Filmed in like some kind of high school gymnasium? Like,
AEW is struggling. AEW struggling. But you would have hated the last Raw. I think it was last week. They had a like Stranger Things tie-in, which didn't make any sense, and they didn't really do anything. I think Raw was still 2 or 3 hours, and they had 4 matches. I think the women's tag team was on the line, and then maybe Intercontinental or something like that, and then just a one-off. I forget. There were 3 women's matches, and then the main event was Braun Breaker and CM Punk for whatever CM Punk World Heavyweight he has. There's only 4 matches for 3 hours. The rest of it was your soap opera stuff. So I don't know that it's gotten better. I think it's only gotten worse. So like I say, tonight, I don't think you're going to miss Raw. I'm pretty sure you can watch it later. I don't remember if it's immediately after it's broadcast. I know AEW's that way because AEW also goes live on HBO. WrestleMania.
Yeah, because I also like to watch the sport because not only do I want to know what the heck's going on, so I could actually talk more about it when in the group when we have these discussions, but also if I start wanting to talk to these wrestlers and everything, and I
Oh,
want to know about their career, and I want to be able to talk about to them about their matches and stuff like that. Actually know about their history, and I don't want to look like
hmm
basically I don't want to be blanking, and look like a total jackass.
yeah.
And I want to know something about them, their history, just uh, I don't want to be look like the guy who's in the back just footing the bill and that's it.
hmm
And because what good is that going to be? Like, here's a guy who it's like when you get on eBay and you're selling a product and you don't know anything about it, and then the people when they ask you questions, oh, I'm just selling it, but I really don't know the answer to your question. You look like a jackass.
And
So,
probably lose the sale. Like,
um,
well, I'm not going to buy it for him. He didn't know what.
there's certain items that I sell that I have available. Like maybe I bought from Amazon or something, and we're never going to use it. Like maybe I might bought something for a particular purpose, and we're not going to use it. So I need to resell it. Yeah,
Hmm
yeah. So you get out of the house. Um, well, what's this for? I don't know. Maybe it's a pipe that for the sink or something. I don't know. Why did I choose that? I don't know. Some random
But
somehow.
something you didn't know about. Okay.
But I'm not a plumber, right? So like what does this item do?
Oh,
I don't know. It's for the kitchen sink.
carries
Like
water.
that's all I could say. I could read off the description that's on the box and everything, tell you what it says on the box, but that's about as far as I can go. Uh, am I selling an item like that? No, but again, it's a very bad example.
Hmm
But you kind of get the idea of what I mean.
hmm
But it makes me look like a horrible seller because in that case, I don't know what the product I'm selling. Luckily, on my two eBay accounts, I have mostly action figures, and at least I could say I'm pretty knowledgeable about those products that I'm selling. So when someone has a question, I can pretty much tell them what they need to know. So that helps big time.
Got a guest on the show.
Yeah, my wife, she's dancing for me, looking all pretty.
Oh, we're reaching the mukbang portion of the show.
Hmm.
Reminds me of that, was it She Bang song?
Oh man, that dude was horrible.
She Mukbang.
The dude from American Idol.
Yeah, that's what it was. I can remember that. Okay.
The dude that
I never watched Idols, but I knew it was one of those things.
didn't he get a freaking damn contract too?
I think, yeah, even though he didn't win, probably. Because probably some record company thought, well, we can at least sell some novelty records. I give him a couple bucks. What was his name? I totally forgot about him. As soon as the mukbang came, I was talking about singing, and then She Bang came.
Dang it.
What was his name? Pretty funny.
I'm gonna probably go 2 hours. So about another 20 minutes or so.
Getting closer. Hey, already?
Yep, almost 9. Got 37, yep.
Time flies, huh? Time flies when you
Yeah, I'm thinking
go to word now.
I was probably gonna announce this at the beginning of the show, but I just kind of freaking forgot.
Uh-oh.
I started talking baseball and then I completely forgot. But I was thinking from now on, maybe Mondays and Wednesdays, try and have like a 7 more hours.
I always do that to Bum because Bum always
Yeah.
wants to stick to an hour or less. So I'm like, yep, we're almost done. Only 4 more.
I don't always comment in the live streams, but I always watch the shows because I'm usually sitting on the couch when my wife is watching her show. So I'll have my phone on and I'll have it on low, so I'm able to watch the live show when he goes live. And I always see that and I always kind of get a laugh out of that.
We're almost done.
But-
Only 4 more hours, Bum. Yep, you're almost there. Keep going.
But I'm thinking Mondays and Wednesdays. I'm probably gonna try to have at least a little bit of a shorter show. Maybe that means 1 hour. Maybe that means an hour and a half. Usually it always boils down to what the conversation's like.
Mhm.
If the conversation is going, pretty smoothly, obviously it dictates a longer conversation, a longer stream. But I'm trying to cut it down each time to about roughly an hour. But
Did you find the longer ones are just too long for viewers and stuff? Or you also
I mean,
have other
I
stuff
always
to do?
want viewers that missed the live stream to come back and watch the stream, later on. And when someone sees like a 3-hour live stream, they may not be interested in watching it at a later time. But if they see a 1-hour live stream, they'll look at it as just a normal regular video. So they may want to watch it later on or maybe watch half hour here, maybe half hour later on or something. So
I can dig
give
it.
them an opportunity to watch it.
And during the week for me, it's also better because I did like tonight. I still want to take a shower and get ready for the day. I work tomorrow, so
Same thing.
during the week it works pretty good.
And
And your viewers are probably in some of the boat. A lot of them working and stuff. Or if they have families, they can for all hours probably during the week.
Absolutely, and that way, anyone that tunes in, they know, hey, we got this schedule, and if they want to stay the whole show, they can. And plus, it allows me to, obviously spend, good time with my wife afterwards as well before bedtime.
Ooh, a good time.
Because we're old people, we go to bed super early.
Yeah, I should. I still have that bad habit, but I should get to bed older. But when I get to bed, I do enjoy it, but I still sometimes find ways to stay up. Because my commute is too quick, right? I work from home most of the time, so I can literally wake up like 10 minutes before my first meeting, make a cup of coffee and a yogurt or breakfast sandwich, and I'm in work.
Dude, the John Belushi, John Ritter Real Men movie.
Oh yeah.
Just before the live stream, my wife and I watched that movie.
Oh, okay. And
I haven't seen that movie since I was like yay tall. I didn't remember a darn thing about it, and luckily that I finally was able to see that damn scene where John Ritter punches out the damn clown.
Wasn't there a bunch of clowns? It was like a big fight between them and some clown, right? There was more than one clown.
So John Ritter runs up to the clown. He gets punched out. John Belushi comes in, whoops some ass, and then at the end, John Ritter gets up, punches out the last clown. All of a sudden, he transforms into this badass at the end of the movie, and it's freaking funny as hell.
Ritter does. But what was the plot of Real Men? Oh, did you miss that? Okay, so it's called Real Men, right? Real Men. Mm-hmm. It's like, I think 1987, if I remember. I looked it up the other day. It's an older. It's been a couple years. But what was the basic plot? I could have swore like John Belushi, isn't he scamming Ritter's character or something? Like making him pretend it's a spy type situation or something? I just vaguely remember.
Yeah, but they're actually meeting up with real life aliens.
But it made it sound okay. So real life aliens are in the show, in the movie.
Yeah. So the aliens are trading like an actual weapon that's going to help like Russia destroy America or vice versa, whatever. Or you could choose a package that's going to basically save the world. It's going to like stop like this algae from growing in the oceans. That's going to basically end humanity or whatever, something like that. I don't know. It's kind of confusing, but and I think that John Ritter's character is a lookalike of another CIA agent or something.
Okay.
So John Belushi's CIA agent is hired to like kind of escort him to Washington to kind of be like this undercover guy to meet up with the aliens or something. I don't know. Like I said, it's very confusing.
And to pretend to be the actual John Ritter character because he's a lookalike. I forget. It almost made it because I thought all along the way it sounded like Belushi was pulling his chain, but it ended up being the real thing.
Yeah,
because of the way Belushi delivered it throughout the movie until the end, and then you're like, wait, that was all real? What? Yeah,
like his character. Like I thought it was, basically CIA was pretending to shoot at him the entire time and whatnot.
Yeah. I thought there was an element to that, and I thought Belushi's character kind of played into it, and his delivery did too. I thought. Just vaguely came back to me after you mentioned. I forgot the whole Ritter punching out clown stuff in an alleyway, but when I searched for it, that came up with Belushi finding wasn't it it was like a glass with the presidential seal or something on it or whatever, and I'm like, oh, this sounded familiar. Belushi, wasn't he pulling his chain? I couldn't remember if it was real or fake.
At the beginning of the movie, this CIA agent's walking around with a map and a cup of water. I'm looking at my wife and I'm all excited. I'm like, I remember the water. I'm so freaking goofy, man. I'm getting all excited because I remember a glass of water.
Yeah, because at the end, isn't that all the aliens wanted was a glass of water? Water out of that particular glass, right?
To save humanity, all they wanted was a glass of water.
But out of that particular glass, too. Wasn't that part of it? It had to be that glass as well, I think, or something. I
I
think.
don't think so. I
I
think
thought
all
there was
they
something
wanted
special
was
about the glass. Yeah, I don't. Maybe not. Kind of funny.
I think they just put the presidential seal because
Okay.
that's because it's from the president or
Yeah,
something.
makes probably like they do with the pens. When the president signs with 5 different pens, they're probably special presidential pens or something like that.
But that movie was just so stupidly funny.
I forgot the aliens though. I totally
So
forgot.
stupidly clever, and it just works
Where'd you
for
guys watch it?
for a cheesy 1980s movie. It was just a fun movie.
Yeah, no, going into it, it is what it is. Where did you guys watch it? Was it online somewhere?
It was on Tubi.
Oh, free.
Yeah, so
Aren't they
you
free?
had
Okay.
to watch commercials, but I mean, it was fine.
Yeah. Okay.
Or not commercials, ads.
Yeah, so there you go. Tubi, right? If you're TUBI, I think it is.
Mm-hmm.
I'll have to check that out then, because like you're describing it now, someone's coming back. Like I remember when you said, I remember the water. Oh yeah, wasn't it the whole thing they wanted? The funny thing at the end, all the aliens wanted was a glass of water. And he takes a drink and he's like,
Yeah, like my wife looked it up too, and she was telling me Problem Child. I'm like, I remember you guys were mentioning Problem Child in movie on Saturday. I'm like, no, it's not Problem Child, because I remember Problem Child, because Problem Child and Problem Child 2, like those movies were like huge in my house growing up. Like we watched those movies religiously. We seen those movies like 100 million times. Like I know those movies very well.
Was Ritter the second one? Was he in Problem Child 2 as well?
Yeah.
Ritter? It was? Yeah. Okay. Did they make a third one or something?
If they did, it was probably brand new characters. I don't remember.
I thought they replaced the kid and Ritter and made a third or fourth one or something.
If they, like I said, if they did, they were new characters. I don't remember.
Home Alone. Remember they made like 7 Home Alones.
Yeah, they screwed up Home Alone big time.
I don't. It was really weird.
Part 2.
The strangest one was Home Alone versus Predator. That was a really weird movie. I don't know why they made that one. Surprisingly, the Predator lost that one too, right? I mean, did you see Aliens versus Predator?
Thank you, baby.
Oh, we get a drink? What do we get? Anything good?
Thank you. Love you.
Love you.
Coffee.
Oh, well, that actually sounds pretty good. I had tea.
Coconut.
Tea was easier to make. But have you seen the Aliens versus Predator movies?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's surprisingly how fragile the Predators are in the Aliens versus Predator movies. I assumed the Predator would lose in a Home Alone versus Predator movie. I think Kevin would probably beat him because the Predators look so silly. Outside of the Predator movies, they look terrible. I'm like, you guys are supposed to be badasses. What's the deal here? Yeah, I think this Christmas did make a point of watching Home Alone 1 and 2 because I couldn't remember 2's plot as much. But after that, I didn't watch the rest of it. From Super Mega?
Spam.
We got a lot of weird non-sequiturs.
Not the same guy.
I know, but it just like doesn't make sense to anything. Like from Super Mega. Oh, sure.
He's asking about my name. I'm like, dude, I'm like 20 years older than that guy.
Oh, I don't get the reference. Okay, so it's only a non-sequitur to me because I didn't get it. Matthew Watson and Super Mega?
Yeah.
What's that? What's Super Mega?
Some YouTuber with
really?
who has the same name as me.
I didn't know that. I guess I don't YouTube enough.
I learned about him about 2 years ago. Okay. Because somebody was like going into my live streams making that joke. I'm like, I don't know who the hell that is.
Baba Booey, Baba Booey. Oh, is that still a thing? Are the kids saying? Is that still a thing? Hello, fellow kids. Baba Booey, fellow kids. But I didn't know that. Okay. Yeah, every once in a while. It's surprising that YouTubers can be famous just for being on YouTube. It still blows my mind a little bit.
No, man. I mean, I enjoy Home Alone 1. Like, it's obviously a legacy movie and everything, but part 2, I think, is probably my favorite among the 2 movies.
Really? You prefer 2 over 1?
I think so.
Who was I talking with earlier? A buddy at work. We're talking about how rare sequels are better than the originals. Like Terminator 2 always comes up in that list. So for you, Home Alone 2 is better than the original, huh?
I think so. I mean, like, I usually like the movies or TV shows later on because you've already established the characters and whatnot. So you kind of like to see how their lives progressed. So that's why I enjoy part 2 a little more.
I probably like the first one better, but that's interesting.
I didn't realize that the girl in the original movie who played like the elf, that she was the same girl that played the stewardess when Kevin got off the plane in
Into?
part two when he's in New
Oh, really?
York.
I didn't know that. I'll have to go back and look at that. Huh.
That was like, I'm like, really? The things that you learn later on in life.
Hmm. Yeah, I don't remember that at all. Interesting. I literally just watched them over Christmas because I hadn't watched Home Alone in a while. So I'm like, oh, let's watch the first one, and then I think Disney or Hulu or wherever I was watching, it's like, how about the second one? I'm like, yeah, I don't remember that one at all. I know I've seen it, but and he's in New York, but that's it. That's all I remembered. A lot of people in that one, like your Tim Curry's. I know Trump makes an appearance. Who else was famous in there? I'm drawing a blank now, but I totally forgot he was at a toy store. The plot was, him home alone in a toy store in New York rather than Home Alone at home. And then, like I said, I think they made a third and a fourth and a fifth. Never seen those at all. I can barely remember two. Makes me want to watch Christmas movies again.
So
a bunch. I haven't watched one. I think it was making fun of romantic movies. That was a Christmas movie. Originally, I fell asleep and Peacock or Paramount, one of them started playing it. I can't remember the name of it. It had a funny name, and that's what this is a weird. All those romantic Hallmark type movies, but it was Christmas themed because that's a pretty easy theme to have for a romance movie. I could have swore it was one of those real ones, and I woke up watching it like, what the heck is this? And I should have dawned on me because there's a lady in there that's we've seen in other comedies, but she's not super famous yet. I can't even remember her name. She kind of looks Indian. I don't know if she really is, from India. But I've seen her in a few other stuff being a comedic actress, and she has a romantic, could be a romantic comedy. But no, I think they were making fun because they had a few of the people from SNL playing this. They were running this bed and breakfast type thing, and
so we restart at 150.
yeah, you saw it reset.
Yeah.
We got to at least go to fade to black or whatever, so we can come back. Yeah, that rhymed. But I woke up and I'm like, well, this is weird. But I ended up watching it later, and yeah, it was kind of a funny movie. Once you started watching it, you realized how they were over the top with their jokes, and you're like, okay, they're lampooning, right? They're making fun of romantic comedies. I didn't get that originally because I was half asleep when it. You ever turn something on and then, especially on streaming, most of them will just keep playing. And even if it's not a TV show, it's a movie, they'll play something they think you would like after this movie if you don't say otherwise. So there'd be times I'll wake up with like, what the hell is this? Because I fell asleep watching Terminator and now I'm watching some weird, earthquake movie or something that I never heard of. It's kind of interesting. But I ended up watching it too, and it was actually pretty good. I just wish if I could remember the title, like Grofunkel or something. It's a weird name.
You know what I want someone to explain to me?
I think it's called Mukbang.
Kevin has like 20 people in the airport, right? And this is Home Alone 2.
Okay, yeah. He loses him in the airport in this one.
He's got like 20 people in the airport. Yet he's only chasing after one person, his father.
His father.
He chases after his father into the corridor. His father gets on a plane.
To the wrong plane.
The one guy at the stewardess, whatever he is, he tells the other stewardess, hey, make sure he locates his family. Specifically tells this woman. She takes him onto the plane. Do you see your family anywhere? Do you see your family? Not anywhere. Do you hey, let me walk you up your family? Where's your mom, your dad, your son? But no. Do you see your family? Oh, there's my dad right there. All he sees is the back. He doesn't see his face or nothing. Doesn't see anyone else of his family on this entire plane. But all he sees is the back, and that's it. Okay, go have a seat. Merry Christmas. Like, really? You're going to leave an underage kid that young board a plane by himself without verifying that his parents are there, that his family's there? Like, what kind of airplane is this?
Right, Fly By Night Incorporated, yeah.
Insane.
Well, and also Kevin didn't notice that nobody else around him looked familiar. At a minimum, he should be sitting next to his mom, his wife. But I thought they would all sit close to each other, so they should all be in that same area. They're probably assigned seats, right? You should be able to, like, oh, there's my brother, whatever his name was, Biff or whatever. Here's this and that. Here's that annoying, was it a cousin or an uncle that was singing in the shower? He should have recognized those. But yet, he didn't. And the stewardess didn't, like you said, push him on. I didn't really think about it at the time. Because of course it had to be to move the plot along. Like, how else can we sneak Kevin onto the wrong plane? They didn't check the ticket. I mean, all because he lost the ticket, right?
Yeah, he ran into the stewardess and they all dropped on the floor. Yeah,
that's what it is. Yeah, so they had to push the plot along. That's kind of funny. But yeah, you're right. I didn't really think of it watching it, but yeah, all I saw was the back of him because you know what we were going for, right? All along the way, he was following the back of what he thought was his father. They weren't going to show his face until, and in fact, he never looked. He didn't dawn on him either, right? He didn't even look for him, or he just sat down. And it wasn't until he got off and he was in the wrong place, right, that Kevin realized he was on the wrong plane.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like he
Once
didn't
he
even
got
reach
to New
out
York,
to say hi to his mom or dad or nothing. Say, "Yep, I made it." He didn't bother, or else he would have been confused because nobody on that plane would have looked like his family. And he just sat down and rode. What is it, 3 or 4 hours from probably Chicago to New York or whatever it was?
yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of funny. I didn't really think of it that way. I mean, it's a movie. You suspend disbelief, blah blah blah. But yeah, it is a good point. I think nowadays after well, this was before 9/11, Brian, probably too, right?
Yeah.
But
92,
even
was it?
but even back then, they still would have been a little more. They wouldn't just like let anybody on the plane, would they? I wouldn't think so. Especially.
He had the knowledge and the fortitude to look through his mom's phone book to locate his uncle
Mhm.
and find the address to go to his house and everything.
Yeah, yeah,
Curious why he decided to go there after he was found out at the hotel, and why he didn't go, and why he decided to go to the hotel first. So he wanted to live up the high life
yeah.
way beforehand.
He
So
did. Yeah, he definitely was taking a vacation. Um, it was pretty cute the way he sneaks into the hotel and pretends, "Oh no, sorry, his father's busy. He's at a meeting or whatever." Evading Tim Curry and the rest. Oh, Rob Schneider. He played one of the
busboys
bus boys. There you go. Yeah, I
or
forget
bellhop, yeah, bellhop. I'm
whatever.
sorry.
Yeah, and then Tim Curry, was he like the main bellhop or he led something, right? I forgot Tim Curry was in there, and I think there's a few other people that were famous that are like, "Oh yeah, it was him." I think the toy store owner was fairly famous, but I can't remember his name because he was already older when this movie was made. But stuff like that. And of course, the Wet Bandits were back, both of them. You could not have them back. If you're having Kevin back, you might as well have the original thieves too. Well, actually, I think without them, it wouldn't have sold, right? Like we were like, okay, what are the odds that Kevin's in another place with different thieves trying to
Yeah,
rob? That would be kind of weird. But anyway, so two's better than one, huh? That's
I
interesting.
like it.
Yeah, yeah. Probably. I mean, it's hard to beat one because I even remember. Did you try to see one in the theaters? That was one of
We
those
did.
that.
We
But
did.
it took a while to get tickets, right? It was one of those. It was like sold out for weeks and months. At least around me, it was so popular. It was hard to get a ticket.
I don't remember. I mean, I think I was like
Yeah.
5 or 6 years old when the movie came out, when
Oh,
the first
okay.
one came out. But I
I was
remember
I was old
like,
enough to remember it was hard getting movie theater tickets for the longest time because
but
everybody.
I remember seeing in the theater though, and I remember my grandmother, my mom's mom, like I remember her screaming from my mom, Marianne, Marianne, because it's pitch black in the theater, and my grandma, Marianne, like grandma, shut the hell up, and people are trying to watch the movie, and she's like screaming for like, oh, it was so damn embarrassing, but it was so damn funny though. I miss my grandma. She was so freaking awesome. She was such a beautiful woman.
Marianne.
I miss her so much.
Mm.
But I mean, that was such a fun movie to see in the theaters, though.
Adding because I do remember it was hard to get tickets, so I'm pretty sure it was crowded. There was not an empty seat when I finally saw it. I'm trying to remember how much of my family went. I know I didn't go by myself. I don't think I was old enough yet to see movies by myself, even if it was PG or whatever. But um, yeah, I just remember it took weeks or months. I missed, of course, I wasn't old enough for Star Wars, but I didn't realize. I think Star Wars was in the movie theaters for like a year and a half or something because it was so popular. But then again, of course, back then, I didn't really think about it, but they didn't have, you couldn't rent movies and watch them at home like in the late 70s, right? That wasn't a thing. Blockbuster wasn't around yet. That wasn't a thing, I think, till the earlier mid 80s when movie rentals even was a thing anywhere. And then, of course, Blockbuster took over. And now we can watch anything we want on my phone. Imagine how dramatically it's changed. I know that was 40, 50 years ago, but you went from, if you didn't watch it in the movie theater and you missed it there, you were hoping that like CBS or whatever would watch it later, and then you might be altered for TV and you'd have commercials and stuff. That was your only other bet to watch the movie. There was no movie rentals. Two, now I can stream anything I want on my phone, let alone, like we said, really, sometimes it's annoying when you look up some movie and it's not available anywhere. You're like, really? How's that not streaming? What year is this? I'm not Amish. I have to watch it on Tubi. It's not on Paramount or Peacock or Amazon Prime or whatever, right? Or Netflix. But you can pretty much watch anything you want for the most part at a moment's
Right
notice.
on,
It's pretty cool. Almost too
dude.
much. Almost too much
It's
to
not
watch.
time for you yet.
Not time. Well, we got another visitor on the show.
Yep.
Got a little kitty. Little meow box. Meow meow.
Morticious.
Little clearness. Morticious.
Morticious. Don't jump off the table.
Yeah, good luck getting a cat not to jump.
Don't jump. Come here.
Cats love boxes and jumping.
Can I say hi to the people?
Hello. Like, no, I want to go jumping. Do you have a box? Do you have an empty box I could jump into? That'd be the double word score right there. Jump into a box. Could you get an empty cardboard box and put it on a high shelf so I can jump into it? And that'd make my day.
Hey, I'm Baby Morty.
Seems to be doing pretty good though. You know, like even a cat that likes to be held sometimes, when you pick them up and they don't want to be held at that moment, they're gonna, at least all the cats I ever know, they're like, no, I know I like you to hold me, but not right now. Go away. Let me down. I need to jump on stuff or whatever. I don't know what it is. The cat's like, oh, I got to get to my job, right? Like, where are you in a hurry? Where are you going? Why are you in such a hurry, cat? You didn't have it. You got to go take a nap. You mean the naps you've been taking all day? Like, you're not.
Right on.
You don't have enough energy yet? Come on. If I had that many, actually, though, have you ever done that? Taking like a lazy day or weekend and you take a nap in the week or during the day, like on a Saturday? Sometimes it does make me tireder. I don't know what it is. You wake up and you're like, I want to go back to sleep. I don't know what it is.
Right on. All right.
Well, that's it. We made it. 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock in your region, whatever the time zone is.
Right on. So 9 o'clock. Also, I really do appreciate you, man, joining me for yet another live stream. And for all the viewers and for commenters, thank you for joining me for yet another live stream, guys. Always fun having you. Let's keep it going, guys. I really appreciate it. So Wednesday, live stream, always. Saturday, guys, thank you for tuning in. I don't know how long we're going to keep doing these weekly live streams, but for as long as we can, always appreciate you tuning in.
You have a tournament video tomorrow?
Tournament. Tomorrow, guys, still be sure to tune in for tournament videos. We still got Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday for the tournament, and that's going to complete it until that. And until then, regular videos. Let me know. Let me know what you guys think about what kind of regular videos you'd like me to make, because at this point I'm all out of ideas. So
brainstorm.
Absolutely.
Drop in the comments, maybe do a post, follow up on the post. I don't know. Yeah, I have to think about it.
Yeah, let me know what kind of videos you're interested, because I do got to kind of branch off and kind of do different content, move away from the collection, from wrestling, trying to do something different. Obviously, that's still going to be a huge part of the channel, but I do kind of want to branch off and, do something different as well. Something else that, that sparks interest,
Expand your viewer base, maybe.
Absolutely.
People who aren't into wrestling or figures, but maybe into something else like baseball or whatever you think of. Mayo, maybe some Mayo enthusiasts. Some Zebra cake aficionados. I don't know. Whatever.
The mayonnaise enthusiast. That's funny. I like that a lot.
I assume there's some. I mean, I like mayonnaise, but I don't know if I'd call myself an enthusiast. I mean, I like a mayo on a good sandwich or even a burger, or like a salad. We talked about pasta salad, mayo. That's pretty good. Those kinds of things. But mine enthusiast, yeah. Probably more than the average person, right? We talked about Hellman's versus Miracle Whip versus there's a sandwich spread somebody talked about versus, all that kind of stuff. Maybe I am. Mayo enthusiasts. Both of them.
All right, guys. Oh, we got a mass deletion now.
Oh, really? Did I miss it? I might have already blocked him.
Yeah, someone's doing a mass deletion.
Oh, of their own comments?
Yeah.
Not you? Okay, that must be that Mom Chillum. 1495. Man, they're old. They were born in 1495? Wow. Imagine if you're born in 1495 and you're still around, like you're a vampire or something, how much technology you've changed. Oh, BBA's here. Came on break to is BBA doing it, maybe. There you go.
Oh.
Yeah, I just blocked him. I could kind of tell. Right, I think it starts off innocuously, like, oh, I love your beards, and then it turns into I'm a tranny and my boyfriend this and that. And I'm like, yeah, okay.
Good job, BB. I appreciate it, bud. I'm about to say, man. I thought they were like, I'm like, oh, don't go scared. Like, shit. It's not that serious.
Yeah, I mean, I just block them. I don't really care.
Yeah.
But yeah, silly.
I pay spammers no mind. I mean, don't affect me. Like,
Yeah, I mean,
stupid comments that make no damn sense.
we've seen them. Actually, I think the last couple live streams have been pretty tame. I know early on I wasn't ready for it, but you get all kinds of people, I guess, just absentmindedly browsing every live stream on YouTube and poking in to put their gay tranny jokes in or whatever they want to do, right? Telling
Yeah,
their
I mean,
jokes and stuff. Every
it's
once in a
so
while, though, you
rare.
get like that Kelvin person with the quote, the choices. You get some people who just literally discover you randomly, and like, oh, okay, and they hang around.
And yeah, it's funny. Like it's like
I
on
like it.
TikTok or YouTube. You're scrolling through and you're going through like different live streams, but like
Mhm.
you come across a channel and hey, you're not interested in watching. Keep scrolling. It's that easy. Like you
Yeah,
don't like what you're watching. Like okay, you tune in for a minute or two. You're enjoying what you're watching. You keep watching. Maybe you comment. Maybe you subscribe.
be chat.
Maybe you enjoy the conversation, but start leaving like hateful, disrespectful comment like what the hell? That makes no damn sense to me. Especially if you don't know the content creators or know the people or anything like that. It's just stupidity.
Yeah, and they have a lot of free time to do that. I'm like, well, okay,
That's just evilness in the world.
it's kind of
That's just
rude.
pure evil. So
Hmm. But BBA cleaned it up for you. I just blocked them.
never.
Yeah, whatever. I don't even bother. Don't feed the trolls, I guess you'd say.
Yeah, absolutely. But 2 good hours in, guys.
Yep.
So as always, guys, I just want to say, again, thank Fladiel for joining me for another fun live stream. For all the viewers and commenters, thank you so much for joining us. And talk to you guys. If you leave a comment, post video after submission, and talk to you guys in the next live stream. See you guys then. Take care, everybody.